Have you never done it before?
I have. Hi everybody, welcome to QueueTimes. My name is Croog, and today I'm here to lead this wonderful group of people through a campaign that I've created for them called Perils. Perils is designed to be a little bit funny, a little bit twisty and turny. Hopefully that comes across to you guys, we'll see. But before we get too far into that, let's introduce the players that we have, starting from my left.
I am Winter. I'm playing Hunter Ethanson.
Cool.
I'm Ultra. I'm playing Leonitha.
Cool. I am Jonas, he, him, and I am playing Pollen, they, them.
I am William, and I'm playing Rory and Robot.
Did you actually name it Robot?
I named it Robot. Rory and Robot. Rory, she, her. Robot, they, them. William, they, them, or he, him. The end. Stream's over.
That was an hour and a half long. We're just going to call it there. Join us next time for when William introduces his character again, and then we'll just end the stream again. Thank you very much. No.
Don't tell me that won't get views, baby. That'll get straight to the top.
Number one on trending.
Everyone's been wondering.
So, this is not a session that we use very often. We are using the Fate Core system, which is something that I personally love. It is a system that's very flexible, very much about justification and role-playing and being creative, I guess is the best way to put it. So we, as a group, are going to kind of go over some of the key elements of the Fate Core system before we get into the game. The players are going to be building their characters as we go. So either as we're talking about the system or even after we've started the session, they might change or add things to their character that weren't there before. That's something that the game actually supports inherently, and so that's not really anything weird. There are a couple of homebrew things that I'm using. I've built a homebrew skill, which again is something that the game sort of supports. It's called Luck. It is a high-risk, high-reward skill that you can use for anything. And effectively, the high-risk, high-reward comes from the role-playing aspect. So if somebody fails a luck roll, they're going to have a major consequence instead of a minor consequence, regardless of how much they failed. If they succeed, they're going to succeed with style, regardless of how much they succeed by. So that's kind of how luck works, high-risk, high-reward. There are a couple of other things. William's character is actually 2 character sheets worth of characters. It's
Rory and
Rory.
Robot.
It's going to take me a while to get names.
And now that I've done it for the second time, the stream is over again.
Yeah, that was the second session.
Thank you, everyone.
Rory and Robot. So he has 2 character sheets. His stat distributions are homebrewed, so he doesn't have the same stat makeup as everybody else. He's going to start with 24 points instead of the 27 points that the rest of the characters are going to start with. Yes, that is higher than a normal beginning Fate Core game, but that's just kind of how this session is going to work. He's also going to have 1 additional stunt, so he's going to have 4 total stunts, and then he's going to have some restrictions on where he can assign the stunts and where he can assign the skill points. But those aren't really that important. I trust that he's going to follow them, and you should too. Cool. Let's start to talk about Fate Core. So Fate Core, like I said, very creative in nature. There are a couple of skills that you have to pick from at the very beginning. The skills are basically, is this in frame? Yeah, they are. Right here. The skills are the things that you're using to roll dice. So whenever you want to roll a dice, you're going to roll 4d6. That is 4d6. And that's the only dice that you ever have to roll, just those 4d6 all the time. And based on the skill that you're using to accomplish the thing that you're trying to accomplish, you're going to add the value of the skill on your character sheet to your roll, and then come up with a result. Yes.
Just giving like an infomercial.
They look like that when you roll.
I like how you have them all on 4 because we're saying 4d6.
That was not on purpose.
Yes, it was.
Stream's over again.
Own it.
Normally, you'd be using what are called fate dice, but we don't have any of them here, so we're using d6 instead. Fate dice are 6-sided dice that have specific
Plus,
markings on
minus.
them. It's 2 pluses, 2 minuses, and 2 empty spaces. We're just using the d6s to replicate that because we don't have any fate dice, unfortunately.
So what would we do? 1 and 2 is plus.
1 and 2 is -1.
Okay.
And then 3 and 4 is 0. 5 and 6 is +1.
Great. That makes sense.
There are 4 actions that you can take with any of your skills. There's overcome, which is to overcome an obstacle in your way. That could be something like picking a lock, like persuading somebody of something. Those are non-combat kind of utilitarian acts that aren't inherently easy. So you don't need to overcome lifting a glass of water off a table, but
I
you
might.
do need to. You actually might.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We'll
there.
get to their
We'll get
characters
there.
very soon. We're almost done. You can create an advantage. Create an advantage is a super interesting and like kind of the nexus of the creativity of this system. When you roll to create an advantage, you're discovering aspects of the world and of the things in your environment and of the people around you. And these aspects are basically defining how everything in the world's interacting together. So creating an aspect could be something like taking a bookshelf and tipping it over. And so now there's a tipped over bookshelf in the middle of this, let's assume a combat situation. So if somebody's trying to get over the bookshelf, they have to overcome that obstacle. And that's how that aspect is affecting your combat. So you can create these aspects, and then if you've created the aspect, you can just apply it to people as they situationally come into contact with it. Does that make sense? It's very vague, the explanation I'm giving you, and that's because it's a vague rule. It's very flexible and very creative. And so if you have any like, oh, can I do this? Just like ask, and we'll go there. Does that make sense to everybody? Cool.
Yeah.
You can also attack, which is an attack, and then
Okay, I thought you said this wasn't going to get complicated.
Can you defend?
and then you can also defend. You
Whoa,
can in
good.
fact,
All right.
you can
So
attack,
you attack and defend.
and you can defend.
And
Winter
overcome.
coming in with that segue.
The special thing about defense, though, and something I find very interesting, is you can defend as many times as you want if it's not your turn. And you can do it for other people. So as long as you can justify, like, juxtaposing yourself between yourself and someone else, or, like, I put a magic barrier up or something like that, you can just do that. As much as you can justify it, you can do it. There's no hard limit to the amount of times you can defend on an opponent's turn.
But the attacking is more.
The attacking,
regulated.
the skills per round is limited to one.
Oh,
So
sweet.
you can do
You do, like,
stunts.
one thing.
You can do stunts and move and stuff like that outside of your rolls, but when you roll, you have to you're doing one thing.
It's the one thing. Cool.
Yeah. Any questions about what I've said so far? I know it's a lot of information, but
I understood it.
I'm
But
gonna
can
be
you
here
give
the
me
whole
one
time.
more example of creating an advantage?
yeah, another example of creating an advantage would be something like there's a good example back here. I actually made a couple of examples of some things, and one of them has creating an advantage in it. So I made a stunt called Cover Story. I actually think this one might be from the book, but it reads thusly. Anytime you overcome an obstacle, which we've already talked about, in public, using Deceive, which is an available skill, automatically add a situation aspect, which is you basically modified the situation, representing your cover story. So effectively, this is saying you've deceived the people around you so much that you now have this cover story with them. And if somebody is trying to figure out, like,
I get
you're
it.
going to be like, oh, but my cover story.
Yep.
And you say, oh, okay, well, now you can have an extra, usually it's +2 to the role that you're contesting
Cool.
with the other person.
That's awesome.
That's kind of creating an aspect. Now, your character inherently has aspects to them. There's, if you look at the character sheet, there's a section to the left of the skills called aspects, right here. You can't see that. I don't know why I'm trying.
Yeah, it is a little blown out.
Yeah. So there's 2 sections that are labeled and then 3 that are unlabeled. The first labeled one is high concept. That's just what is your character's overarching, like, value, I guess you could say. Like, I am a wizard for hire, or I am a mercenary with scars, something like that. Something that describes your character in a nutshell. Something that describes what makes them unique, what makes them powerful, what makes them weak. Any number of things you can throw on there. I think the best aspects are things that describe a strength and a weakness of your character, but that's just me. You don't have to go there. You're also going to have another area of this sheet that describes your weakness. Does that make sense?
What if I don't have one?
A weakness?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm talking
can-
about myself as William. My character
Right.
definitely has
I
weaknesses.
can give you a weakness.
Oh,
My
To
weakness
apply
is
it to your daily life.
sure.
You must send me half of your paycheck.
Okay, great.
You just write that on your William character sheet.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
we'll go from there.
Putting that down.
That was pretty cool. Can I have a weakness too?
Yeah, you can also send me half of your paycheck.
Oh my God, Samesies.
Hey, Charlotte, do you want a weakness?
Oh no.
Are you sure? If it's really cool. It's really cool.
The trouble is this weakness manifest into words. So a good example of a trouble.
If I sent you half my paycheck,
yeah, must
then-
send half paycheck.
then
to,
I can't pay my rent.
Exactly.
And I'm in trouble.
Exactly. Yeah. The weakness is it doesn't have to be something with you though. It doesn't have to be something that you're doing. It could be something like this group is out to get me. And so that's a tool for me to use to cause problems for you, basically. And then the other 3 aspects are just things that describe your character a little bit more specifically. They're kind of really wide open, but keep in mind, these aspects do have mechanical uses. So each of you has a number of fate points, hence the name of the system, Fate Core. You're probably going to have 3, unless you decide to take more or less stunts. And you use those fate points to invoke your aspect. So for example, one of your aspects could be, I can cast magic spells using the power of the earth, or something like that. Now, if you want to do something with that aspect that isn't listed in your stunts, you can spend a fate point, which you have 3 of, again, just as a reminder, and do the thing that fits the aspect that you're invoking. So similarly to the way that aspects are things that define your environment when we're talking about creating an advantage, the things that define how your character interacts with the environment when we're creating your character. Does that make sense? Any questions about that?
No?
No?
Not yet.
Okay, fair enough. So you can pick 3 of those, and we're going to go through all of their choices a little bit later if they've made all of them. If chances are most of them won't pick 100% of everything, and we'll kind of be discovering it as we play the game, which is totally fine. We talked about stunts twice, and we haven't talked about what they are yet, so let's talk about stunts. Stunts are ways that your character specifically can use skills outside of their normal use, or kind of extraordinary uses of skills that your character has mastered. So I made a couple of examples of these on the little cheat sheet that you guys have in front of you. But like, for example, one would be backstab. You can use the criminal skill to make physical attacks, provided your target isn't already aware of your presence. So if you've successfully stealthed up to somebody and they don't know that you're there, you can use your criminal skill, which is presumably your highest skill if you've phrased your stunt this way, to attack, meaning you will do more damage because it's a higher bonus than your whatever you'd be normally using for a physical attack.
It's like a sneak attack in D&D.
It's like a sneak attack in D&D. This is how you'd build that. I gave each one of the 4 of you an example of what a stunt would be for your archetype, or what we talked about your archetype was going to be.
Oh, cool.
So Holy Guidance is an example for you. You don't have to use it.
Okay.
Astonishingly Lucky is an example for you. Big Buddy is an example for you.
I love it.
And Ambiguous Form is an example for
I
you.
like ambiguous form.
You can take them if you
Yeah.
want to take them. You absolutely don't have to. I won't be offended. But
I might
just
alter it, yeah.
for the viewers, well, no, let's go over them later because we haven't learned about what your characters are.
Sure.
And we talked about fate points. You know that you can invoke one of your aspects with a fate point, right? That part made sense. You can also do one other thing with a fate point, which is declare a story detail. You can decide that something in the world is a certain way instead of me deciding it. And then you pay me a fate point. And then that's just true. I have veto power, so you can't say, all of the enemies that we're fighting die immediately. Here's your fate point. Next scene, please.
It's like
I'm going to just be
End
like,
stream.
nah, fam.
we're on a road or
Nah.
something. It's like we're backed into a corner, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I want to use a fate point to. There's a manhole there, and we open it up and climb.
Yeah,
in.
that's
Like
a
that
great
kind of thing.
example.
Yeah.
Changing the environment, maybe changing like one of the enemies forgot their weapon, so they're disarmed. Like that would
He
be.
goes to
I'd be-
reach for sword.
Yeah.
I got you.
Pulls out hilt. Like, oh no, okay. They can hit you with a hilt now. So
They forgot just the blade part of the
Yeah.
sword?
No, their sword breaks. Like,
It's
in
like
that
in the
moment.
sheath. Like,
They're like, oh no, hold on.
I
now
want to put glue inside the sheath.
each of them has 3 fate points. I have 5, and I can use my fate points to compel any one of you to do a thing or to fail a thing. Basically, to change the story that has already been resolved in my favor. So, for example, if you succeed a roll to convince somebody to do something, and I say, okay, that's fine, you succeeded, but I'm going to compel you to fail. You're going to stumble over your words because you're distracted by something one of your allies is doing. You would then say yes or no. You can tell me whether or not you accept. If you accept, I give you a fate point. You get to take it.
Okay.
If you want to decline, you have to give me a fate point.
Okay.
So that's how that system works. Keep in mind that the game's balanced around using fate points proactively, not reactively. So if you dump all your fate points into avoiding me, you're going to get screwed in combat.
Oh, okay. So basically, we got to work with you.
Yeah. And that's not to say you can never tell me no.
Yeah, yeah.
It's totally fine. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a specific thing, honestly, Like if you tell me no and then you do something more entertaining than what I was thinking, I might just give you the fake point back. Like that was really awesome. Here you go. But we'll see how the balance is. I've never DM'd this before. I played in 2 sessions, 3 sessions,
4 sessions, 5 sessions,
11,
6
40 sessions. I built the game myself.
That's why it's called Croog Core.
Croog Core, yeah.
No,
Oh,
Fate Croog.
oh,
Fake Croog.
Fate Croog.
the graphic is wrong.
Perils.
The graphic's wrong. It says Fate instead of
Crooged
Croog.
by
Oh well,
fate.
whose fault was that?
Yours.
Is this another aspect?
Yep.
Write it down. I'm in trouble.
Oh.
So yeah, I've never jammed this before, so the balance is something that I'm working on. If you guys like at the end want to give me feedback, or anybody in the chat wants to give me some advice, I would love to hear it because I want this to be good, for
Fun
you guys.
and
I want it to
good.
be entertaining, and I want it to be enjoyable for the players. So yeah, and if you can think of anything, feel free to leave it in the chat. I'm gonna watch the whole thing afterwards, so even if I don't see it, I'm gonna read it later. Trust me. Is there any questions that you guys have before we start talking about the world and your characters and stuff like that?
Did you say we started with a certain number of fate points, or did I
Yeah, so you see on your sheet where it says refresh,
Oh, okay.
and then below that it says, so you get 3 stunts baseline. It says that on your skill distribution thing on your
Okay.
cheat sheet.
Yes.
You get 3 stunts baseline. You can choose to take 4 stunts, but then your refresh goes down by 1, so you only start with 2 fate points. And the way that I'm going to justify that as we progress in the game is that if you use all your fate points and then you haven't, and you're like, oh, I want to pick another stunt, you're going to have -1 recovery. So next session, you're going to start with the recovery you normally have. So if you took 1 extra stunt, you'd have 2, and then you're going to have -1 from that at the beginning of next session. So you're going to have 1. Does that make sense?
No rollover.
Yeah.
No rollover plan.
Yeah, it actually it does generally
Oh,
roll
okay.
over, but if you have 0 and your refresh is 2, it would normally reset to 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if you already had 0 last session and you take another stunt, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just detract 1 from the next session.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the stunts, we want to build the stunts to kind of have like what you said, high risk, high reward kind of thing, or like,
It doesn't have to be high risk,
like-
high
That
reward.
was Lux.
So the
Oh, okay.
yeah.
the stunts, and maybe I didn't say this. We talked a little bit about it before the stream, so maybe I said this before the stream. The stunts are supposed to be multifaceted. That's the main requirement, is that they're not just, I get +1 to attacking. That's really boring. Something that's more entertaining would be, I get a +1 to attacking this specific kind of thing, or I get a +1 to attacking in this kind of situation, or in this environment, or after this many of this other thing. Like my 3rd attack always does +1
Sure.
damage. Is the wrong word, but still.
Yeah. I think I was thinking of for not to like completely derail this
No.
for a moment, but as a stunt is like I really want Rory to be like very independently minded and is like actually motivated to do things, but very very much like I don't want it to be this broad, but example wise, like when I do something on my own without someone telling me to do it, I get a +1.
That's a good call.
If someone tells me to do it, it's a 0. And subsequently, every time someone tells me to do the same thing, it goes -1, -2, -3, -4.
That's really cool.
Because every time someone tells me to do something, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'd say like somebody asks you, or like they don't have to be demanding you, but they like suggest even like in any way contribute to you making a decision, then you're kind of like,
Well, I was going to do that anyway. Like, I was like, I think about it the way of like, oh, I'm going to, like, the dishes are there, I'm going to do them. And then as soon as, like, someone was like, hey, can you do the dishes? Like, I was going to, now if I do the dishes, you think that I did it because you asked me to, but I was going to do it.
I like that. I like that a lot. That sounds really balanced. And that's kind of how this creation process works. So thank
Okay,
you for
cool,
bringing it
cool,
up.
cool.
It's basically just a conversation. Like, we talk about what we think is going to be balanced.
Sweet.
As a group. And feel free, all 4 of you, to throw in ideas for each other, or to say like, oh, I don't think that's going to work for each other's stuff. I don't think anybody here is going to take it personally. If you do, I don't know, like, let's hug it out after the stream.
Yeah.
Like, why not? You know? Cool. Let's go a little bit into the world that we're in, and then we're going to talk about your characters kind of in the middle of this, because we do have a couple of questions about your character's situation that you guys need to answer for me. So, this is a high fantasy world. There's magic, there's deities that objectively do exist in the world, multiple deities that, you know, have their own domains and stuff like that. the rarity of magic is such that it's not common. It's not something that somebody would expect to see, but it's not rare enough that it frightens people. People understand that it exists. Maybe people are a little bit more cautious around it based on their previous experiences, but all in all, it's something that everybody has in the back of their mind, but just doesn't expect to see on a yearly basis. Like more than once or twice a year, they see something magical. They're like, "Oh wow, that's cool."
What a year.
Yeah, what a year. I'm a lucky person.
Yeah.
If magic affects their life, they're like, that's like winning the lottery.
Oh. Ooh.
Like that's, beautiful. A year ago, the four of you worked to stop a group of barbarians led by a menacing sorcerer, Sudina, from destroying the city that you're currently residing in, which is called Cramp. I did not realize how vulgar that word would sound when I said it out loud.
Cramp?
As I wrote it.
I
Cramp?
thought it was carp.
Cramp?
Yeah.
Do you mean like when your leg cramps?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not vulgar.
It sounds it in my head.
It's just kind of the intensity of the syllable.
Oh,
Yeah.
kinda-
when you said it, definitely felt
Or like
that. Yeah,
when there's not
when
a
I
lot
said
of like when there's not a lot of room and you feel cramped.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like when somebody is talking around the holiday times and they say Krampus.
One more example, please.
Or like when you want to listen to a cool guitar-driven punk band and you put on the Cramps.
I believe you. I don't know, but sure, probably.
On here I have carp.
Carp?
Yes.
It is carp, but let's...
Did you
make
mean
it
cramp?
I meant cramp.
Okay.
Cramp's fine.
Carp.
I'm just saying.
You know, around holiday times when people say Krampus.
I thought you said Carp on purpose. I thought it was...
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fantasy game. You know, Carp is
Sure.
normal, but...
Yeah,
Wait, so is
it's
it Carp or
Cramp.
Cramp?
I tried
Cramp.
to... Cramp. I tried to pick names that are easy to say.
Man, these town names are great with these QueueTimes streams. We've got Cramp, we've got Bald. We're really doing it. We're so creative.
Bald is hijinks and handlebars. Check them out yesterday. Tuesdays.
But not.
6 days from now. Cramp.
Sorcerer's name again?
Sudina.
Sudina.
Dang, I didn't even write that down.
Good job.
All right, stream's over again.
I have to... This is our 5th session already.
Roll of 1,000, baby.
All right. So the four of you work together to stop this sorcerer. Who are you to each other? Is this something that you did out of necessity? Is this something that you were brought in to do by by Cramp itself? Is this something that you did out of the goodness of your hearts individually and just happened to end up working together? Like, there are any number of options.
I think I'm friends with Pollen
Cool.
because
I'd buy that.
I want to study Pollen.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
veto any of this. Whatever you guys say
Yeah.
is just true.
I did it because the god compelled me to.
Okay.
Cool. I think I would have done it. One, us being friends makes sense. So like if they would take me along. But also I think that this being a sorcerer, Pollen thought there was a chance to like learn something about their own existence through it.
Okay.
So that was part of the sort of impetus was
Okay.
there's a lot of magic involved.
And almost exactly the same because Rory I think is interested in Pollen because they're a being that is not
human and mysterious in origin.
yeah and
I promise you'll know what that is soon.
yeah and Rory is like kind of trying to Rory is sort of a spellcaster and like uses magic in the sense of like trying to imbue objects and things with sentience. So that's like that's what Robot is.
Robot's a golem, not a
Right,
robot.
yeah.
This
Okay.
isn't
Robots
high
don't
fantasy.
exist.
Yeah.
It's a construct that
It's
Rory
just-
has inexplicably named Robot.
It's just a coincidental property now.
No
there's,
relation.
like- yeah, everyone, this is Robot, and nobody
It's-
knows that's a thing. They just think it's a name.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, Robot, like Robert,
Strange
a little
name.
bit.
Never heard that.
Specifically chosen to make it confusing for the stream.
Yes.
Right? Thank you.
Also, because I was talking about naming my character yesterday, and I said Rory and Robot, and Jonas was like, Rory and Robot.
Robot is it's like how in Game of Thrones the family lines it's always the kids are variations of like the dad's name. Rory and Robot. Rory, Robot. Rory, row the bot
row,
gently down the
row.
stream.
Your bot
Robot.
gently down the battlefield.
Gently down the live stream.
that's
Hey,
good.
thank you for watching. We'll be
did
back
it.
next
Squish,
week.
squish,
Another-
squish.
And I was brought in by Cramp
Okay, you were brought in by Cramp.
as a government official.
The two of you weren't
Great.
brought as a government official.
Yes.
You were a member of Cramp,
Okay.
like of the Cramp administration, I guess.
Yes, like
Because that's
like a
hilarious.
soldier or something like a
Okay.
high up
Like a
trusted
contractor,
soldier.
kind of. Oh, okay.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Like,
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
professional.
I'll say that you were a
professional.
general. That's fine.
General
Because you're definitely
professional.
not going to be after the rest of this.
Yeah, no.
It's just
Were the two of you working with him initially? Like, were you brought in to help them specifically, or did you just
I think-
coincidentally meet?
I think we ran into each
I think,
other.
it
Yeah.
was definitely
Okay.
Like, I
It
think-
feels like we had an independent interest in this
Okay.
thing.
And
Yeah.
then were you compelled to help him or to help them or to just stop it and then you happened to run into them?
I was living on the streets and I was a nuisance, and he was maybe the only person who believed my like rantings when I was telling like the people of Cramp
It's about
that
trust.
Sudina it was gonna like plan to attack the city.
okay.
So maybe the only person who believed me.
Okay, I dig that. So you had some previous knowledge or maybe like
Premonitions. From
Yeah.
your
Okay,
God.
then
From-
I want to.
Okay, I want that too.
adjust. I want to adjust.
Okay,
I was not brought in by the city. I did live here,
okay.
but they wouldn't listen to me listening to.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So you did
Lenny.
work for the city at some point, and then they got
Yes.
rid of you because you were being so like persistent about getting this message to them. Or-
yes.
Okay, I dig
Yeah,
that.
it's like they told me to turn in my badge and my
I
sword.
dig that.
Turn in your badge and your sword.
Turn in your badge and your sword.
Strap.
Turn in your badge and your hand crossbow.
You set your sword and your badge on the table, you start walking out, and the chief is like, hey, that dagger on your leg.
Give me the side piece.
Give me the side piece. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
This was my personal one, but you can have it, I guess.
Too many memories.
This is just
Yeah.
a butter knife, but
Yeah.
okay, I guess. Like if you, I see
every-
that
It's
you're-
just the hills, but
We know you.
Everything.
You with a butter knife?
I love this. I love this. And then you, the two of you, just happen to meet.
Here's the
up
thing.
at
I
some
think
point.
we were in the midst of like stuff's going down.
Yeah.
They've been like following clues and like really getting in there. And they're like, oh, that's like probably like the moment when like the big stuff is going down. And it's like almost in a way like two people entering a castle at the same time, unknown. We're both like, well, okay, today's the day we're gonna do it, and we go and we run into each other in there and like majorly screw up each other's
I
plans.
dig
that actually,
I dig all.
yeah, that's awesome.
It's like
Let's-
independent heroes deciding like we're gonna do this.
Oh,
And then
it's
it gets
down to us.
Like when two
completely
different
screwed over.
jurisdictions do
Uh-huh.
stings in the same
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Super
Arrest
Troopers
each
2.
other.
Have you guys seen Super Troopers 2?
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
Don't imagine that as the world,
It's like-
but like the same environment and the
Yeah.
same like situations.
It's like when it's like when cops are like doing stuff on shows and the FBI shows up and they're like, "Hey, we're FBI. This is ours." And cops are like, "Dang it! Now
Yeah.
they're the bad guys. FBI's bad guys now." And FBI, if you're watching a show from the FBI's perspective, they're like, "Those darn cops want to do everything."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now they're the bad guys.
Okay, so
TV is
just
so multidimensional.
to
Yeah.
recap, Hunter was a city official who was listening to, oh my god,
Pop rock.
Leonitha.
Leonid?
Yeah, Leonitha.
Woo! Okay, so
Leonitha.
Hunter was a city official who was listening to Leonitha's premonition about the upcoming problems, and he was trying to explain to the city that this is something that you needed to deal with. Maybe you gave them some ideas.
They've
and
never been wrong
they just
before.
didn't listen. He started to get more and more passionate about it, and you started to have more and more details about the things that were going to happen. And so your plans started getting more and more elaborate. And eventually, they were just like, "You're starting to scare us. Get out! Like this isn't the behavior of somebody
Bad
who's a
PR.
professional.
Bad
Leave."
PR.
And so the two of you independently started working towards figuring out exactly what was going to happen and when and something like that. Meanwhile, the two of you were off doing your own thing. You had known each other previously.
Yeah.
And when this happened, you two reacted in kind of a selfless way.
Well, we were
to-
well selfless. I think selfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we were like,
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
I guess you are kind of
We,
selfish.
we were
think-
both like, we got to get to that sorcerer and figure out how to do the magic.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you want to learn magic just for your own curiosity.
Yes.
And you want to learn magic to learn more about yourself.
Yeah.
So
I
the
also
two of you were acting to kind of control the situation, and the two of you were acting to stop the situation. And you kind of thought that your priorities were in line, but they weren't at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I also think that like we probably worked a lot to like plan for very specific things, given like Pollen's unpredictable nature at least.
Okay.
So like a lot of our training was probably learning how to interact with and use Pollen should certain things happen, which they were not a part of at all.
Sure.
So that
So they
could
just
lead to
didn't
some
understand
trouble.
what
They
you
just
were
weren't. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
anything could have happened that just like.
I dig this.
Yeah.
All right. I'm okay with everything that just happened. All right, so while you did manage to eventually destroy Sudina, the general consensus is that the time it took you to do so, as well as the collateral damage you caused during the process, was borderline negligence. You were put
Their
to trial,
It's
which
their
is
fault.
I'm not the judge right now. I'm just explaining the
Wait, here,
situation.
I'll put on the
You're
judge
like,
hat.
Save it for the
Our fault.
I'm actually wearing the judge hat.
Save it for the trial, man. It's
That's
falling
true.
on deaf
That's
ears. You were put on trial, which is still in process. I don't know if I got that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Cool. Are we on
I did
parole
know.
then?
Yeah, effectively.
Cool.
So in the meantime,
Love
you're
it.
on effectively a lax parole. Like you're
Okay.
not locked in anything, but
Couldn't lock me anywhere.
you are confined to the city at all times, and you're ordered to wear special enchanted amulets, which allow city officials to track your location
You
magically.
can lock me wherever you want.
They on the ankle?
Amulets.
No, they're amulets on your neck.
Okay.
If
Is it sick? Is it like a choker? Do I look hot?
no, think of it as a locket, but it doesn't open.
You
Same
said
size as a
no.
locket.
So
Not on
fast.
trend at all.
No, I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
Look, I'm not.
That's
a
part of the
fashion-
punishment, actually.
Yeah,
You can no longer look
You have
hot.
to look a little bit more ugly. That's
Yeah.
part of the punishment. If you have magical abilities, you are forbidden from using them. Although, if you use magic, you specifically would have figured out by this point that they have no way of policing that. There's no method to detect from this amulet that you've used a magic spell. But if they see you do it, you'll get in trouble. That's basically where your headspace is.
Cool.
You are also forbidden to discuss the nature of the amulet with anyone outside of the scope of the trial. That's something new that I didn't tell you previously when I was breaking
Gotcha.
down the world that you were going to be in.
Cool.
But that is a thing that is now true. You cannot discuss the nature of the amulet with anyone outside of the scope of the trial, meaning people that are defending you, people that are prosecuting you, the judge. You can't discuss it with the jury. They don't need to know. Anybody in public you can't discuss it with. The guard you can't discuss it with.
So just be
It's
wary.
off limits.
He's going to have someone ask us what the amulets are for.
Yep.
Ooh, busted.
If you do a specific set of things, that is a true statement. You have managed to live off your savings for the past year or so, but you've somewhat recently found yourselves needing cash. You were pretty prolific adventurers. You're relatively strong even among the ranks of other adventurers.
Cool.
Let's say, assuming like a D&D scale that I think more people would be familiar with, you're level 10,
Okay.
or maybe level 13
Sure.
or something like
Nice.
that.
That's why we have a superb skill, because you don't technically
You
start with
don't
one.
actually at all start out with any superb skills
That's what I thought.
in
Gotcha.
the like normal character creation
So
process.
it's as if we've already leveled up.
They do have other like variants of it where
Sure.
you can start out with a superb and it gives you a new breakdown. These are both just things I came up with because
Cool.
I thought they were good.
Yeah.
Oh, a new bar happened to be opening nearby, whose owner Zarif, Zareef, Zarif.
Got it, Zangief.
Zangief. Yep, the more Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat? Street Fighter. Street Fighter. Zarif contacted you, the four of you directly and pleaded with you to come work for him, promising you more money than you would expect for such a mundane job. The letter goes thusly: to whom it may concern, please see me as soon as possible in regards to a job opening that may seem below your stature, but I can assure you will pay you the gold somebody of your skill set deserves. All I ask is for a bit of your time to discuss my requirements. Humbly yours, Zarif. And then it has instructions on how to get there and when to meet him.
Does the bar have a name yet?
You don't know it yet.
Okay, cool.
Question?
Awesome.
Question?
Nope.
I'm
The only
just
question I had
kidding.
was isn't that below our stature, and he addressed it. So I'm
Fair enough. That having been said, let's talk a little bit about who your characters are, starting with you. Like, you don't have to give us like, oh, I took these skills and these
Okay.
things. Just like high level overview, maybe like a physical description.
Yeah. Okay, so I am Hunter Ethanson. I government official, just these hands are weapons.
Ooh.
And
All right.
my weapons are also weapons.
Okay.
So you're like a martial
Jeepers
master.
Christmas.
Like,
Yes.
You can punch and kick and
Yes.
stab and shoot bows.
Yeah, and I
stuff
can
like that.
run for a really long time.
Okay, cool.
Like I always run. Like if you see
Cool.
me, I'm running.
Okay, I dig
Yeah.
it. I dig it.
Okay.
And the fulcrum of your character, like the thing that makes you unique, is. Do you want to talk about that mechanic now, or?
No.
Okay.
I think it should come up, but
Alright.
I'm effectively like an action hero.
Okay,
so.
cool. We'll
Yeah.
we'll go over that later. We're going to be surprised.
Ooh, okay. I I just grew up in the city, a normal person, but then I fell into a trance in my teens. And when I awoke, I was like mentally connected to this god. And
the god's name again?
I actually don't know it yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't discovered it yet.
Fair enough.
So it's a god that's like not in the like generally recognized cosmology.
Okay.
Which kind of means that I'm not afforded like I can't go be a nun downtown.
Yeah.
Because they don't know
There's no church.
what god that I'm like connected.
Yeah.
And another thing is it says zealot, but the nature of like how connected this god and I are, like I don't really have a choice. So I just had to try kind of like push the god's like internal dialogue to like a manageable boundary, and I like finally have myself back for the most part.
Is it like
cool.
a weak god? Like it can't just like puppeteer you throughout the world?
Oh, yeah, I guess not. Because the only thing I've really
Like a demigod, is that the thing?
It can badger you.
maybe
It can be like,
it's
Demigods
basically
are-
just like in my head, and that's another thing that maybe at times I'm not sure if it's all in my head, and sometimes maybe
okay.
you guys are not sure if it's
Okay.
all in my head.
Sure. That could be your trouble if you want. Is it all in my head?
Yeah, because the god has told me some things that has been wrong, and that hasn't helped my case. So.
Does that
pretty good.
does that god
okay, they were
afford
wrong
you-
a couple times. But
Turn in your
I
badge.
believe that
Put this on the table.
Does the god afford you any magical capabilities?
Oh no.
Okay, so it's just a more of a mental connection.
Yeah.
Not like a.
I just
you
know
are that
things
champion sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just know things about the world.
So I'm playing Pollen, which is a name that they were given by a child who saw their form, which is basically a like soft green cloud. Literally, if you look at like a Google cloud of pollen, that's kind of the color, at least like idea that I'm thinking. But Pollen rose from a graveyard in or near Cramp, probably 9 years ago. Doesn't know why, has no consciousness of before that, and is basically a cloud of green spores that changes shape in sometimes unpredictable ways. We'll get into more specifically how, but
Sure.
combination, kind of powers-wise, think of a combination of like Sandman and Mystique, with the mentality of like trying to figure out how to be a human.
So Pollen wants people to perceive them as a human.
Pollen knows that they're not able. They would like that ultimately. They would like to at least blend in somewhat with human society, but they're
Pollen doesn't want to be like the thing in the room that everybody looks at immediately.
right. So like
Pollen
they're
just wants to be like able to do their own thing.
exactly.
Okay.
So like their general form is like shaped like a person, but clearly a cloud, wearing as many clothes as possible to like
so
cover that.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but Pollen can change their shape.
Yeah.
Kind of at will. And we talked a little bit about how those mechanics are going to work. I think you're still trying to decide.
I have some ideas
specifically.
we'll
Cool. Yeah,
get
we'll,
into, but
we'll go
yeah.
over them in a bit. Just anything else I want to... Oh, has anybody ever breathed you in before?
I think so. I mean,
What
that feels
happened
like it
to
must
them?
have happened.
I think on purpose.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened then?
Yeah.
I don't know. What would Paul?
Was it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think bad.
I think part of it I was able to sense, like I think when I'm spread like that, I'm connected, like my consciousness is connected to each individual spore, and it can't go far.
Yeah.
It was probably uncomfortable. It probably felt kind of like having
Maybe-
my fist in your like stomach,
Thank you
which
for
is like
saying stomach.
weird. Wow. Wow.
or, like,
or
mouth.
like mouth.
Yeah,
Or mouth. Yeah, I mean, but it's like, yeah, I think it was probably uncomfortable and weird.
Yeah.
I think that to swallow or inhale the pollen would be like if you're choking on ice, where it
Oh, okay.
feels really bad, but you wait and it goes down,
eventually it
and you're
just
like,
goes
this
away.
just doesn't feel good.
Yeah. I dig
Yeah.
that. So it's not like it doesn't hurt you, but it definitely makes
It's
you
like
feel...
super uncomfortable for
Yeah.
a while,
Yeah.
and even kind of could make you panicky a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah, yeah.
and then just be like,
Yeah.
oh, now it's there.
It doesn't do
Yeah.
lasting physical damage, but it
Yeah.
might
It's just
mess with your
uncomfortable and
brain.
it's bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us about?
No, I don't think so. Not right now.
Okay, so Rory.
Mhm.
Rory's 19. She's like pretty young. I don't know what everybody else's ages are.
I'm 9.
I mean,
But, yeah.
it's
Sure.
indeterminate.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I don't know. I haven't decided that.
That's cool.
Like maybe I'll be. I don't know yet. I don't know.
You don't have to know.
That's
fine.
fair.
People will imagine you as they will.
I'm 57.
Cool.
Wow. So 19. Rory's 19 and is generally like androgynously dressed, kind of earth tones. Think earth tones, that kind of a thing.
I dig it.
Yeah, looks very, very good minus the collar.
Okay.
I'll say that. It's like the clothes, knows exactly how to wear clothes that fit and look good.
Yeah.
You know? Like me.
Like
no,
you.
I didn't.
I'm waiting for it.
No, yeah.
And
but
thank you for watching our stream.
Yeah, she's like a combination of an engineer and a like a sorcerer, like that kind of a thing. That's sort of what her mind is going towards, and just wants to make is trying to get to a point where she can put her own consciousness inside of a construct and live forever.
Oh, that's cool. That's a very lofty goal.
Those are some of my personal goals, like in
Same,
real life.
like in
One day
real
I'd
life.
like to be a
Yeah.
computer.
I'd take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: we're already in a computer right now.
Oh, well.
There's that.
Yeah, in there.
Oh, because we're streaming.
No.
The simulation.
We are a simulation.
this whole thing.
It is
again.
more. It is.
Oh
more,
my God.
It is more likely that we are a simulation than not.
He never. It's always.
Is it
with
too much
this.
to ask for a better one, though?
That's true. Can we like get an update?
Yeah.
I
Patch?
actually think
we
we're
need a
just-
hot fix,
I think
actually.
we're
I've got
just a
some patch
video
notes.
game that someone. Never mind.
Is-
The,
Speaking
the
of games-
Matrix, the movie was made to explain to us why, if we were in a simulation, we wouldn't be getting a better one.
Aww.
Because it would be worse. It would always be worse.
Yeah, because if we got a better one, we wouldn't believe that it was real.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, just
That's what they
bad
said in
enough
the
to be
Matrix.
believable.
They made
I think
like
that's.
utopias.
I think that's a line of dialogue from the movie Miracle from Heaven. So in theaters, never. No,
Are you
it's
raising your
better.
hand?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm not
okay.
used to that. Go ahead.
That's fine. So I wanted to ask, so with the amulet, because
Yeah.
I didn't talk about like pollen's consistency, but their base form is like cloud in the shape of a human, where they are like pseudo solid, so like they can physically touch things, things can touch them. They can also become straight up cloud or looks like a person if they like tense up or release. So with that amulet that is wearing as a necklace, I think in like humanoid form it makes sense that I could wear it, but I feel like becoming a cloud, it would just fall off.
Probably.
Am I forbidden from doing that?
No. So the amulet knows where it is relative to you.
Okay.
And you can take it off, like, and set it next to you. Like,
Okay.
that's fine. It's not,
Yeah.
like, gonna explode when it falls off of your body.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the amulet can sense your location.
within.
You don't know.
Okay.
The amulet can sense your location, unless there's a reason you would know, but I don't think there is. The amulet can sense your location within X radius,
Sure.
and its location can be sensed by the administration from a very
Cool.
great distance.
I
So
was a part of the administration at one point. Have we used these before?
Have you, and you said you were a guard? No.
No. Okay.
So the guards, again, aren't allowed to know the nature of the...
Okay.
No one's supposed
it's
to.
just, like, judges and defendant, or lawyer things.
Prosecutors?
Yeah, those, thanks.
You probably found out early on, though, too, that it wasn't a good idea to just take it off and leave it somewhere, because if they see that it's not moving,
Yeah.
it's better to just carry it with you.
You know
and
that, like, if it's...
they can see right through that.
The thing that they would have told you would be, if it's not in line of sight, and if you can't take 2 steps and grab it, it's too far. That's what they told you.
Cool.
Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
And robot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so robot's been around for about like 9 or so years. Rory made robot when she was 10,
Okay.
and different like has been just upgrading them slowly, and you know, that kind of a thing. And at this point, it is unclear, but it seems like robot has full independent sentience
Okay. Which I'm super okay with.
and is just like a friend.
Yeah.
Is like a person that's there now. But they every now and then, if they like interact with something that they don't super get, then there's like
Okay, so there are a couple of things here. Because I'm asking questions for 2 characters. One, Rory, she. Is she smart or just like talented? Does that make sense? Just like if she was given a new, completely different thing that had nothing to do with her previous knowledge, would she just pick it up, or is she really good at this?
I think, really good at this.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is her calling.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, talented over intelligence. Like for this, I think is.
and it.
Yeah.
So it's not like a bookworm thing. It's like a get in there and try it sort of. Like
Yeah, it's
visceral learning sort of.
exactly.
Okay, and robot. Does robot have a personality, or does
Yes.
robot just have opinions?
Robot straight up has a personality.
Okay, I dig that. Do robot? I don't know how to ask this.
Do robots.
Do robot?
Do robot?
do robot?
Did
think?
Rory decide robot's personality?
No.
Okay. What is robot made out of?
Robot. Okay, so robot is made out of bark and like iron.
Okay, so they're half iron, half. Can you be a little bit more descriptive?
Yeah, so like joints would be more iron, like that kind of a
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Like screws and
Like iron
and
fasteners and bucklers
Iron
and
fasteners
stuff, but
and-
like the majority of
yeah.
it's wood and stuff like that.
looks sort of pretty like iron giants make, but with wood, and then the joints are iron and that kind of a thing,
I dig it. I dig all of it.
and not huge.
And just a mechanical note for the people watching. William's going to be controlling both characters.
Yeah.
I might use compels to make
Yeah.
things happen, specifically with robot, like glitches
Sure.
and bugs and stuff. But the sentience of robot is Williams.
And sometimes literal bugs,
And
like
literal
termites.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Could be a problem.
Rip.
Yeah, termites and
Is robot
rust.
like a tank? Is robot is robot big? How big is robot?
Robot is 7 feet tall.
That's big.
Is
Cool.
big. Yeah, it's big. It's
Oh.
not like Iron Giant big, but robot
Oh, boy.
robot is 7 feet tall and is kind of lanky.
Okay. Is robot can
But
Rory
but robot can do
can
strong
Rory ride
things.
on robot?
Yes,
Okay.
like a backpack,
Like a backpack.
like Yoda do and Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah,
like
Luke
you
Skywalker,
do.
the movie.
Dig it?
Do robot- Yoda do.
Oh, Yoda's a robot. I get it now.
Yeah.
That's the missing piece in
That's
those
the
movies.
bleep. There's a bug where he flips words.
Duh.
Yeah.
That, I always wondered why he talked like.
Oh,
Didn't make any sense.
You've solved Star Wars.
I
Wow.
saw Star Wars.
That's
Hey,
been a huge plot
hit me
hole for
up.
years,
JJ.
decades. JJ, I got your plot twist.
Dude, if the new Star Wars movie, I'm so
Wait.
if it's like in it, it says Yoda was a robot the whole time. Can you imagine how
That means
like,
robots
mad-
have ghosts.
Nobody
Sorry.
would believe that this is
No,
real.
yep, sorry.
We have to upload this to YouTube post haste.
Or Yoda's a ghost in a robot.
We're actually going to
There's
stop
always-
the stream and upload what we have already.
Yeah.
Just to have
Good
that.
thinking.
Yeah.
I
I'm just kidding.
P.
Don't close the stream, please.
IP.
Don't bail.
So
I'm saying intellectual property.
I
I'm
get
not-
it.
I'm
I
not saying
understand.
any.
You're
I
not-
just noticed that you're saying IP.
Yep.
You sure do, buddy.
Good job.
But
Proud
robot
of
does
you.
not.
So the last. I love all your characters, by the way. This is going to be really fun. I really
Yeah,
enjoy it. As you come up with either aspects for your characters or skills or stunts, just say them. Because I want to make a note of them as well. I need to use them to compel you and stuff
What's
like
the aspect again?
that. The aspect are the things that define who your character is, as opposed to like what they can do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I have another stunt idea.
Yeah.
If you could help me like flesh it out for a moment. So
Okay,
I have different skills for both Rory and Robot, as we've determined, and I was thinking of having like one skill of overlap where they both have it,
Sure.
and when they use that skill, they get like a +2 or something. But if they fail, it fails hard.
Okay.
Like it's like they're trying to do like a joint, like, oh, we're doing this like thing together, and it's, oh, we practice this. It's like maybe it's like Robot like forms into like a gun, and Rory's like, I'm gonna shoot this big gun.
And then if
The
it
bullet,
flaps,
it just looks like a revolver.
So
and Rory's
it'll-
like, hugs it to shoot.
I'm planning, since I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Rory controls Robot, in a sense.
In a sense, yes.
Rory gives Robot instructions, at the very least. Or is it the other way around sometimes?
Yeah, I mean,
But robot also
Robot's
gives robot
pretty
instructions.
independent.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
fair enough. I was, regardless,
In
just to
fact,
make it,
sometimes Rory will be like, hey, can you do this? And Robot's like, no.
just to make it easy, I was only going to have you roll one initiative and just have both your turns at the same time.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that, like, you don't have to deal with, like,
Yeah.
it's Charlotte, then Will, then Chris, then Will, and Jonas, and Charlotte, and Will. That would be weird for me.
Yes.
So if you want to do that and have it, like, use both your turns
Oh,
or something like that,
Sure.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, that's, I think, a good since that's a good benefit that you have that's unique to you.
Do we roll initiative, or is it?
Yeah, initiative.
One of those
I was going to explain it when we
decided-
got into our first encounter.
Okay.
But initiative is sort of like Pathfinder. It's like stealth and perception based.
Okay.
Not like there's no dexterity equivalent. So we use like, were you trying to get the drop on them stealth? Did you need to notice them so they didn't get the drop on you? Perception.
Cool.
Some of these are renamed. These skills that I have listed, like perception is called notice in the book, but I renamed it to perception because that is what I will say the whole time.
Yeah.
Because Pathfinder and D&D both use perception, so that's where my head's at.
That makes sense.
Cool.
So, the last thing that we were talking about for your characters, or for the world in general, is that you all have this note that Zarif sent to you in order to get your attention, try to get you to come and hear him out.
All independently.
All independently,
Cool.
yeah. I don't know if you guys are together.
I don't imagine the four of us sticking together after that incident.
No.
But I
I
mean,
think we're so, yeah.
we might live together.
Yeah.
Depending where you
try
live.
and save
but, like,
money.
yeah.
But maybe like the drain rate for you is the same as them because you're spending a bunch of money trying to do your building stuff and stuff like that. That makes sense. Because effectively you guys had the same amount of money when you were incarcerated because you literally always get paid the same amount because you know are doing very similar things.
For sure.
So you get this letter, you read it, you understand it. Are you going to go? Is the first question. Let's say he asks you to come to the office behind the bar. He gives you an address, and he asks you to come at 4
Yes.
p.m. Okay, so you're going to go.
Ecstatically.
Is Robot coming?
Right. Yeah. Robot begrudgingly will go.
Okay.
Yeah, Pollen's down to go. I mean, Pollen's whole thing is they have very little going on. So, like, they're up for stuff, especially if Rory's going. Like,
Fair enough.
don't have a job. No one wanted to hire me. Don't have really hobbies. So, sure.
Are you still living on the street?
Yeah.
The letter's just sitting under your foot at some point. You look down, and it's just there.
It's actually, the god directed me to, like, a shrine kind of, like, elsewhere. And it was, like, a rundown shrine with the name scratched out.
Oh, cool.
So I just sleep at the statue, at the feet of the statue.
That's nifty.
And it, like, the letter showed up there. But, yeah, I would go.
Okay.
If you literally sleep like this, you wake up and it's in your hand.
That's how it happened. Absolutely.
I do get a lot.
It's written on your palms.
Oh, word.
In blood.
You blink, it's on your eyelids. Oh wow!
Every passerby says one word of it to you
Whoa.
as they walk
Yeah.
by the shrine.
And then the last
Oh,
one
I would
says,
really
"Wake up, we
not
miss
trust
you."
myself if
Yeah.
that occurred. I'd
There's
just be
no
like,
way that's
just go
happening.
back to sleep. It's not real. It's not real.
I live at my parents'.
Okay.
The economy is really rough right now.
Yeah. That's how you're trying to slow down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But you got fired before the whole thing happened, so you probably had less money to start with.
That's true.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go?
So, like, yeah, my mom makes me.
Go! You need money. Get out.
57. Your
This
mom
letter
makes you
came
go.
for you.
How old's your mom?
Well, I'm 56, so.
You're 57.
Or I'm 57, so.
Whoa.
He said it. We
said
remembered
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's important.
Play it back.
Well, in November I'll be 57. So
See,
Roll the clip.
you can't roll the clip.
Do you want aspects that we have now, or do you
Now?
want those
No,
Now?
as they come
Now?
up, just
Okay.
like
Now?
explain them.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Or would
And
you
then
like
we'll-
them now? Then?
Yeah.
Now, then, there, where, how, why. So the four of you
yeah.
walk kind of seemingly, again, coincidentally, at the same time. The two of you meet up at the entrance to this bar. It's closed, but the bar is huge. The bar is like a large building for a bar. Like this is going to be a very nice establishment. It doesn't seem like a very upscale establishment, but it's definitely not a dive bar. It's kind of like that, like middle class, like pretty like IKEA furnishings, but they're new. And like it just has that kind of like new bar vibe to it. The office that you're told to go to is in the back. He says that you'll find it. Just walk straight back and you'll get there. And the four of you are standing at the door.
Rory, do not look to the right, but I think it is the two who caused the catastrophe all that year ago. Oh, you looked.
Well, are we meant to be going in there together? Is it like what are you doing here?
You should leave.
Or say something?
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, we had a perfect plan, and you ruined it, and you got us all in this
Ruined
mess.
it? You ruined our plan.
That's not how
This
I
was-
remember it.
That's circumstance. That's anecdotal evidence.
Yes, I think it went
This is
actually
bigger than all of us.
You keep saying that. You've always said that. I don't understand.
I mean, I think I get it. If it's bigger than all of us, and there's you speak to a god or something.
I just get its internal dialogue.
Sure, yeah. Great. No, if that's the way it is, if there's a bigger thing here, then if you can tune in to that and at some point ask it a question for me and just be like, oh hey, how do we never see both of you again? And just give me that information. That would be wicked. I love that.
Don't even need to. I have the answer right now. Just walk away. You never have to see us
Technically, I do not walk.
again.
I'm more of a float. I can make it look like I am walking.
I am also here.
Speaking of something bigger than all of us, there is Robot.
I want money.
I can take it.
So I'm trying to actually get first in line to hear what you have to say first because I'm like really, really desperate for money.
Oh, you were supposed to go in. Like, you can go in whenever you want.
Okay.
Well then,
So that's why I'm just like, I'm just like,
yeah.
forget this. Like, I don't even.
So Leonatha just walks in while the rest of us are arguing.
yeah.
Robot
just
will
like-
also go in.
It's like, I need to know. yeah.
Robot, well, he's going to kill her.
Okay, no, well, fine.
Robot's 7
There.
feet tall. How
Yeah.
wide is
Yeah.
Robot?
Not very
Can
wide.
Robot fit through
Lanky.
a door?
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll just like
Mhm.
they'll crouch
Punch.
down.
Yeah.
Come in.
As you come in, you see the inside of the bar, and it's gorgeous. Like, the tables are all nice and clean and, like, sanded, which is unique. This is, like, high fantasy. Like,
Sure.
some of the bars you've been to have just been, like, slabs of old wood that you, like, if you run your hand across them in any direction, you get a splinter.
Splinter.
These
I
are,
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I would get a splinter, actually.
Yeah,
if
lucky
you
for
are a more humanoid character,
I'm
than
gonna keep
Paula-
doing this
no,
to
I'm
you.
super okay with it.
Yeah,
Technically.
robot gives it splinters.
Oh, I wish
And
I
he's
could
like,
have a
Oh
splinter.
no. I want those back.
So yeah, the tables are like pristine. There's actually tablecloths and like the bar has like tons of really nice glasses and tons of bottles of alcohol. It looks like it's meant for eating, meant for entertaining, like large parties, small parties.
Medium parties.
There seems to be a section further to your right that's kind of more of like a dive bar-y atmosphere. Like the tables are way smaller, the bar's way longer, there's more alcohol, it's a little darker, and there's like pool tables and stuff.
This is like the VIP section.
Well, as far as you can tell, yeah, maybe that's what you think at the moment.
That's what I think for sure.
This larger area looks more like for dining guests and stuff like that. But you can see that there is alcohol, like, to give the whole city a hangover for years. Like, there's so, like shelves on shelves on shelves on shelves of alcohol. This place looks like it costs a fortune.
This place is quite ambitious.
Yeah, if there is any way that I can get drunk, it certainly is here.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just say certainly?
Is that not how you say the word? Certainly.
Certainly. It's certainly.
Certainly.
As you guys are talking, you hear glasses and plates clinking in the back, being rearranged.
Don't you?
Be all
Oi!
right.
Hey,
What?
we're here.
Who are you?
What was the name on the letters that we were getting?
Yeah, Zarif.
Zarif.
We're looking for Zarif.
I'm Zarif.
Oh well, we're the 4+ robot.
Oh, you're finally here. Good.
I'm
Yes.
He walks out and greets you. He is a very short dwarf, like short for a dwarf. Very portly,
Okay.
Cool.
bald, brown skin, very hairy guy. He looks like he does not have the finances to afford this place. Like, he's dressed really poorly. He might smell a little bit. He just doesn't look clean or like well off by any like stereotypical definition. And he looks at you and he says, "They're finally here. Thank you.
Yes.
Do you get my letter? I'm assuming, and you want to work for me? Is that why you're here?
Well, is the pay pretty good?
Yeah, it pays really well. I'm willing to offer you 300 gold a night. This is an obscene sum of money for engineers, like for
Sure.
people that are building homes, like drafting homes and like for people selling mansions, this is an obscene sum of money, $300 a day or 300 gold a day.
That can't be real.
Yeah, this is real. I swear.
Certainly, you mean to say 600?
No, I'm not. No, I can't.
Worry, I'm
possibly.
doing the up the price thing.
No,
Help me out.
this is actually the worry here would be that you would actually get the
Are,
price.
are you a cloud
pushed
right
down.
now?
I'm in humanoid form, so right now I look. I mean, I'm wearing a fedora and like a big trench coat, and it's mostly covered, but like and probably gloves as well. So it's kind of Invisible Man, but there's my head. I'm probably keeping my head down a little bit.
So you
Fedora
have
blocking,
like a
but-
spory thing about you, but you're a humanoid shape.
Yeah.
But he's even if he sees the spory thing of you, he's not going to think twice about it. He's just going to be like, "Oh, that's some weird magic stuff."
Right.
And he might ask you like, "Why is that a thing? Is that dangerous to me?" But he's not like, "That's so weird. I'm running away."
Yeah.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The reef. Are you trying to pull a fast one on us?
No, I have money I can give you right now.
300
You just have to agree.
a night.
Yes. There's a contract.
You have my interest.
You could sign it. I could give you your bonus, your signing bonus, and you could
Wait,
be on your
there's
way.
also a signing bonus.
How
Yeah,
long was this
300.
before?
I just pay you for your first day up front. So you
That-
know that I'm not
How's
joking
it-
you.
Okay, give me the contract.
Like, he hands each of you a copy of a contract.
Cool. I look at it.
Look-
It's written very densely.
Cool.
This isn't something that's abnormal for this city. The city's very bureaucratic and very political. And
Cool.
as such, everything's very ironclad. So this doesn't give you any like heebie-jeebie vibes, but it's difficult to understand.
Sure.
I look
sure.
over the contract and then I like turn around and check my gold pouch, and a moth flies out of it. And I turn it back around, and I'm like, yeah, and I sign it.
You don't even try to figure out what it says?
No.
Okay. Really? Okay. I mean, no offense, but I need all of you. I can't just have one.
Really?
Yeah.
You need all?
Oh, yeah.
I can do this on my own.
Oh, no.
With their help, it would be great.
No. It's
But
you can't
them-
be in more.
do you
Can you
need
be in more
them?
than one place at once?
I sort
Well,
of can.
no.
Hold on. Okay.
Also, the town sort of knows about you.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Sorta-
yeah.
because of the high profile. case
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like,
I'm the only one of my kind as far as we know.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
If I'm going to be doing this, and I sign this contract,
Yeah.
I will not be working in this area. I want the front.
Yeah, of course. That's where the customers are. You have to go with the customers.
No, I mean like with the in the area that is nice.
Fancy.
Oh, you want to work in the dining area?
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Whatever. Sure.
Well, me too.
That's fine.
I will work.
Great.
I sign it without reading it because I feel like my life isn't really mine, and it's not like I feel like, oh, my God has a plan for me, but like I feel like the path is not like necessarily attached to my body, and also I just like don't have anything really to risk anyways.
Does your god sound like a man or a woman?
Oh, it's a man, I guess.
It's up to you,
Yeah, God.
man.
And yeah.
You hear in your head, why? Just why?
Okay, well, I just fell into a
Are you
trance.
saying this out loud?
What?
Are you saying this out loud?
What do you mean?
You heard in your head your god, the god that's connected to you.
Oh,
Say
okay, so here's the
why.
thing. The god just kind of like thinks and I hear it. And I've tried to like, very early on, I tried to say like, hey, stop, or like control it. Because at first when I woke up from the trance, I thought it was just like voices in my head.
Yeah.
And the god's just kind of like, like, listen to me. And it was just like endless droning and
So the god doesn't listen to you.
that's how it started, and then eventually like the god started telling me more and more important things until he addressed me directly and was like, you have to like solve this problem with the sorcerer.
Yeah.
And so, but otherwise, like, since that's done, he just kind of is like doesn't really regard me, and I'm the one who's like, my thoughts are like steamrolled by his.
I get where you're coming from. This situation, this moment of you hearing his voice is going to mark a turning point
Okay.
in that belief.
Okay.
Now he's addressing you directly, and he's saying why. Just why?
To finish well, I don't know what we're doing exactly. I guess
Can you feel when he's paying attention to you?
I think I have to like ask first.
Okay.
So I like don't think to ask most of the time because I feel like I'll just be ignored.
Okay.
Like just through habit. But okay, let me think about that. I guess just I don't have any money and like this isn't about you at this moment. Wait a minute.
It's okay. Do you want to come back to it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we can come back to it.
I want to investigate the papers.
Okay.
The contract. Can I roll to investigate the contract?
You can't. Is there a specific way you want to do it? I was going to recommend lore.
So lore or investigate are both things that I do have no pluses in either of them.
Okay. I think we're going to make it lore because it has to do with knowledge as opposed to like
Sure.
Logic.
Okay. So
It's actually the opposite of logic. It's a very illogical piece of paper.
so that's gonna be I got +2.
Okay. You understand that by this contract, you will have to serve the guests as they request based off of the menu that they are provided. And you will have to custom order any of these following lists of items from the menu, and it gives you a list that you feel comfortable remembering. And if they ask you for something outside of your scope, you must tell them where they can achieve the thing that they're looking for. So if they ask you for an alcohol that you don't have, you have to give them a recommendation instead. Like, this alcohol is very similar to this other alcohol, or barring that, you have to go to this other bar that might have it. You have to find some way to give them satisfaction. There are a lot of other requirements that you don't get.
Okay. Well, all right. I'll just sign it.
Okay. Oh, that's great. You're the only one.
Yes,
Do you need? Can you sign stuff? I don't even know.
I only know two of these words, and it is the, which is all over, and a, which is all over. I don't feel comfortable signing something I do not understand. Thank you.
Okay. Let me explain it to you then. Make a lore check.
That was an
Cool.
option.
Anybody that's yeah, you didn't ask.
I definitely
Anybody that wants to listen,
All right.
make a lore check.
I'm sort of using my one of my troubles is 9 years of world experience.
Fair
So
enough.
very low reading level,
Yeah.
and I'm definitely not even going to be average in lore.
Okay.
So is it a +0 if you're
It
untrained
is
in it?
+0, yeah.
Cool.
You still have an opportunity to get -4 with
Right.
+0. which is
So-
totally enough.
So I roll all 4 of them?
Yes, you roll all 4 of the dice,
Okay.
and then you add your lore skill.
Okay.
And you said 1 to 2
1
is
to 2
-1.
represents a -1. 2 to 3.
Is
I'm
3 to
sorry,
4.
3 to 4 represents a 0, and 5 and 6 represent a +1.
Cool. I rolled a total of 0.
Okay.
+2, +2, -2, -2. Or, well.
Both Rory and Robot got +1.
Okay.
Math.
And I don't think I'm gonna make lore a skill, so I just got +1.
Okay. We
Negative.
have all +1s
Did none of us make Laura
except
skill?
for 0.
Awesome.
I didn't.
Not yet, at least.
1.
You can add it now.
No, 1.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't want it.
You don't want it? Yeah.
No.
So I love that none of us know lore. Or
I think Charlotte
you.
did.
You did, okay.
Do you have lore on your page?
Yeah,
Are you adding it?
because that's part of like what the god has been telling me.
Yeah,
for
that
many
makes
years.
sense, yeah.
And to me, it's just like fluff. It's just like trivia that no one needs,
Sure.
but it's just kind of like world knowledge.
So you're the smartest person in the group.
Later.
No, but I was gonna say
what is your lore?
I thought 4.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So
for
you're
the
you're objectively the smartest person in the group because all of them have 0. So even if they roll
Yeah.
all 1s and you roll all 0s, you're going to succeed and they're going to succeed. Does that make sense? Like you're
No.
rolling. If you roll all 0s, that's the same as all of them rolling all 1s.
Okay.
So you like.
So
in-
look,
in challenges-
I'm putting all 2s like this, which means that they're -1s.
Correct.
So -1, and then I'll end up with 0.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in general,
Yeah.
not now.
Okay.
Now you just got a bad roll of the dice. But I'm just saying in general, you have a way better chance of succeeding
Okay.
any lore roll than any of the rest of the
Yeah,
players.
because your base is
Okay.
4, our base is 0.
0.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
that was
another
all
thing I
trying to
thought of
explain.
is that because the god tells me all this stuff, the world building is like it comes along, right? And everyone contributes.
Sure.
But like maybe would it make sense for it to be like that I say it in that moment because that knowledge comes from me? even though someone else like discovers it or creates it, I'm like, oh yeah, like the god told me that,
sure.
or something.
Yeah,
like
like if somebody succeeds in something, that doesn't have to necessarily mean that like they did the thing, or maybe like if they succeed in something that wouldn't be likely for them to know without you telling them something, like some higher level stuff.
I guess just part of the story.
Yeah, we could just be like, you said something to about exactly.
Because if it didn't work,
sense.
that would be fine.
Yeah, no, that I think that could work.
Yeah, especially since I know nothing.
Yeah, right. Since you're 9, somebody's gonna have to tell you something every time you do anything.
Right, Jon Snow.
You know, Nathan.
So
I don't understand what he says at all. I don't think with
you got a 0.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
You don't. And actually, so you failed pretty bad. So you are convinced that the contract is a good deal.
Cool.
Just outright. You couldn't, if I asked you, like, what is the first thing you understood about the contract, you wouldn't have an answer to the question.
I'm supposed to write my name
but
somewhere.
You feel like, yeah, right, there's a name and a date. I get those. But you feel like it's a good deal. The rest of you didn't really understand what he said at all. He was basically just reading it. He doesn't seem like he understands.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. I will take it ecstatically, like, oh, thank you that you've explained it. Now it sounds wonderful. I take the pen and just do like a bunch of dots where it says signature.
Oh.
And pass it back.
Close enough, I guess. Great. And he kind of like tamps the papers and goes, cool. All right. So you guys are going to start tomorrow. You're going to start this same time, 4 o'clock. Customers are going to start coming in around 6 o'clock. You got any questions?
Why? Oh,
why are we here 2 hours early?
To set stuff up.
To prep. To take like stews off the tables and stuff. My question is, why are we all here together?
Oh, because I needed 4 of you.
4 of us specifically, and Robot.
Yeah.
So that's 5.
Yeah, I get the 2 of you as well.
That's fine.
That's fine. I mean,
I would too. Don't worry. But why us 4, 5? Why us 4, 5?
Why them? Is what I think we're trying to get at.
No,
they have the same question. Why us?
No, this is fine.
As I picked up on, we are sort of adversarial in pairs.
Make a persuasion roll.
To persuade you to like really be like,
be
this is
honest
it. Okay. Each of us?
No, just him, because he's the one talking.
0.
Rip.
Because I've had a couple of problems in the past, and I think that you 4 being here might just, help with them. Just trust me, you'll be fine. It's nothing the 4 of you can't handle very safely.
I'm making insight my great.
Sweet.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I'm gonna roll for it.
Go ahead.
Let's see. If those are -1, and these are +1,
then it's just the number.
Then it's 4.
Cool. Okay, so you succeeded. There's 2 kinds of success in this game. There's success and success with style. Success with style happens when you succeed a certain number over the difficulty of the thing that you're playing against.
Okay.
Also, by the way, I'm not going to roll very often. I have the option to roll as much as I want, but I'm choosing the other option, which is to set DCs for the game. Just so everybody knows. That's why you don't see me rolling dice very much. So as a success, you get the thing that you're looking for. So you get the information. If you succeeded with style, you'd get it and something else.
Okay.
And then if you tie, you get the thing that you're looking for, but there's also a consequence. And if you fail, you don't get the thing that you're looking for, and there's a worse consequence.
And the consequence.
Yeah, those are kind of the levels of success.
Cool.
Oh boy.
So you got the thing that you're looking for.
Which is he like?
You want to know if he's
is he telling us the full truth?
He's not telling you the full truth.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he's probably lying.
Okay.
You're not 100% sure. Like, it's either... Because the thing he said to you was, it's not going to be a problem for you. You guys can handle it. He probably means that, like, not all of you are going to die. That's closer to where his head is.
Cool.
What did you roll for?
Insight.
So that's all it'll tell you? Yes or no, basically?
No, if he rolled better, he would have gotten more information.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But, like, because he just
barely
broke even.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got what he was looking for. Cool.
Robot steps, like, had been sitting and now, like, stands and is, like, kind of like this in the room and, like, towers over Zarif, right? Zarif, yes.
I mean, the door was short. Is the ceiling also
No.
short?
No,
Yeah,
the door's
but-
just normal size, but it's
Big
very
big
tall.
place.
Yeah.
Very big
just
building.
well, yeah,
every
I mean, like towering over, like
Sure.
just
Okay.
like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
He's just
yeah.
looking down on the tiny
And
person.
he's like standing as close to Zarif as he can.
Yeah.
Or as he can.
Yeah.
Without Zarif like backing up or anything, and then we'll like come down all the way and like fold in on themselves, not like so they're not bending over,
Yeah.
and just get like right there,
Yeah. He's still a little bit shorter. Like the mechanics don't work that.
and Robot will just go.
You think of us as one. Do we still get 300 each?
No.
Hmm.
No, not at all.
In my experience, that's actually not fair.
I'm sorry, I have a specific amount of money. I mean, you can divide it as many ways as you want. I can just pay it to one of you and you can split it, but...
Yes.
That's-
What are they? Yeah. That's how much money I have. Sorry, it's 1,200. Like,
That
up to you.
doesn't divide by 4 or 5,
by the way, it's still an
What?
exorbitant
It
sum
does
of money.
divide by 4.
does it?
It's 300.
That doesn't go into 1,200.
Yeah. No. Pollen.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 9.
Pollen. Never mind.
I'm sorry, I was blaming Jonas's mind.
Oh, yeah.
Paul's mind. I was like,
No,
Jonas,
yeah.
it does.
What is the punishment for being late?
I mean, once?
Twice.
I don't know, I'll tell you to stop.
3 times.
You're huge. What do you want me to say? I'm going to fire you eventually.
How
I'm not
long
going to
is-
hit you.
How long is this going to be for?
I mean, until you quit, I guess. Hopefully, through the end of the month, through the end of next month would be ideal. But from what I understand, your trial's going pretty slow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I had to go there.
With the new information that he's planning on paying you 300 gold per day for up to 2 months, by what he says, you were so confused as to where, like, this is like royalty sums of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what you're saying is this is a temporary position.
No, you can stay as long as you need to stay. As long as you guys want to work here. I just imagined at some point your trial would be over and you guys would either go to jail or go off and do cool stuff. That's what I assumed. I mean,
But you could afford to pay us for as long as we'd want?
oh yeah,
Like I could have this job for the rest of my life.
sure.
So
I mean, I don't think you'd want to. You seem like you're focused on that.
I mean, I'm sorry, 300 gold. I mean, really?
More money than we've ever seen in my entire life.
Are we your only hires?
No, there's a staff here.
Do
They're
they,
gonna be
do they
doing-
all get 300 gold?
I mean, I'm not inclined to tell you how much the other staff gets paid. That's not really how this works.
Well, here's the thing. I'm just gonna ask them.
That's fine. You can ask them.
All right.
Just insight into the world. The same stigma exists as it does in the United
I
States.
know.
We're
Sure.
talking about your salary.
I know, but that's what I was about
Yeah.
to say is that like
That's you can do it still. I don't
But
care.
you know, I think that workers should talk about their wages openly.
Krug agrees with that.
Yes.
We're not going to get into that here.
Yes.
Talk about your wages.
Yep.
Is that part of parole? Don't talk about wage?
No,
Cool.
it's not.
All right, fine. I'll see you tomorrow at 4.
Great. That's it. Anything else? We're good. Got these contracts.
Sounds about right.
Great. He folds them up. He puts them in a chest. But what are you holding your hand up for? What are you
Signing
holding?
bonus.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep. I didn't forget. I Krug forgot, but he, the character, did not. It puts the papers in a chest that's behind him. And the chest had a little like slot at the top. The slot goes whoop, and closes.
I just want to say when we both put our hands out, robot like a hand from above also came down.
So how are we splitting it 5 ways now, or what's going on?
Hold
Well,
on,
it's 300, 300, 300, 150, 150.
Hold on. No. Roy looks at the robot and is like, technically you're not real. You're not. I mean, like, there's not. And I was like,
I mean, I understand.
Well, technically, I am not real, so I suppose you should get 900, 300 for each of us.
I think I should get pollens.
It's like we're gonna get into this.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
I
Because
really think that's fair.
it seems like you two are a thing, and the two of you are a thing.
There
I
are
don't
3
want
of
to get
us.
in between it. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna give 600 to each pair, and you guys can do whatever you want. And he gives you 600, and he gives you 600.
Give me that.
And then he doesn't give a
3.
fuck what happened. Oops. He doesn't care at all what happens after this.
A flip.
Were we trying not to swear?
I personally was
So
trying
am
not to
I.
swear.
I'm personally trying.
And I feel like I was doing a good job up until that, like very just punchy.
Yeah,
You really-
you really felt that one.
Yeah.
And it was about such a mundane thing.
Right.
It's the one we get.
It's the only one.
Everybody
We're
gets
still
Ding, ding, ding.
PG-13.
Yeah.
I still got
Yep.
mine.
Every character gets one. I have a feeling. So he hands you guys the money. He kind of watches you like bicker and like you snatch the thing. Are you gonna try and resist that, or you
Gotta
just
get mine.
give it to her?
I feel like you would feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
I just like to snatch because it's dangerous how I live. So gotta get mine.
Yeah, like keep it close, sort of thing.
Yeah.
After he watches you for like maybe like 10 seconds, he turns around and just walks off and leaves you standing alone in this office.
All right. Well, here's the thing. This actually works out in our favor, I think, because you're right. 1,200 divided by 5, not good. 600 divided by 3. That makes
I'm
sense.
gone already.
So, Pollen, you get your 200,
Oh,
and Robot, you get your 100, and I get my 200.
200. Ah, yes, that is how that tracks out.
Liar.
No,
That is not how it works.
Robot, you be nice to our sister.
I will not.
Robot, apologize to Sister Rory.
No.
Robot,
I will punch.
I'll punch.
I will punch.
You want to do this, Robot? We can do
I'm
this.
going to punch.
Let's do this. And I want to get into a pugilist stance and try to
Everyone,
enlarge my
not
fists.
in the bar. Can we, if we're gonna do this, step outside? I don't like.
Technically, I don't step, but I will float outside, Robot.
Oh yes. All right. Fine. I was like,
I will destroy you.
And I will float through, float on out.
and Robot
go
will be like this. Lower legs will turn. Torso will continue facing the same direction. And we'll walk out the bar, still facing Pollen. And Rory's like, okay, thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
I hide somewhere in the bar because it's still 4. I try and hide somewhere because it's warm inside. It's cold out there. And when the bar opens at 6, I need a meal. So.
Roll stealth.
Okay. Is that literally?
Is there a stealth skill?
There is a stealth skill.
I haven't
That's fine.
done anything with that.
Oh, that part of criminal?
No, there's a. It is a part of criminal. I made it a part of criminal. Normally it's not.
Okay.
But I
Gotcha.
changed that because
Sweet.
I did. I can.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Don't
exert.
let nobody tell you
I
otherwise.
wanted to assert my dominance over the system, so I just changed something.
0. Oh no.
This is a thing that I'm going to roll. Sorry, just the tie.
I
Right?
go somewhere.
So you
The host is like, this is the shift. This is the prep shift.
no. There's nobody there. There's literally nobody there except for Zarif. So you like, he walks off. You assume that he left.
Yeah.
And you just sit down.
Okay.
You don't even think that there's any like buddy there.
And
And
he said-
eventually he comes back, and you're just like, he's just like, what are you doing?
I'm hungry. I need to wait for the. I'll wait for the bar to open so I can get a meal.
Oh, I have some food. Just go grab some food. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
You work
Okay.
here.
So my
Walks
first
off again.
my first shift meal. So I run off.
Coming out of your gold.
Oh yeah.
He did not tell you that.
Nope,
I'm a happy camper.
he didn't, which means it's not true.
It means that he didn't tell you that. That's what
We
it
don't,
means.
we don't need to fixate on this, but I would like to roll a fight roll to punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
I want to.
Do it.
Can we accept?
I want you to roll a fight roll to punch just to make sure that you understand how it works. So before you punch, we're gonna roll initiative. So since you're
Cool.
both kind of on the same playing field, we're just gonna have both of you roll perception
Cool.
for initiative.
+1.
I haven't put in a perception yet. I think I'm so in tune with the air, I might make perception migrate.
Okay,
I think that makes sense. So that is
I know. I'm
that's
just.
reasonable.
I know.
yeah.
I'm like saying, like,
That's a
wait,
5 total.
Okay, so Jonas, you go first.
Cool.
You can do stuff,
So what I want to
including activate a
stunt.
It's a stunt, invoke an aspect or spend a fate point or whatever. You can make one roll. You
Cool.
can use one skill.
Sweet.
But things that don't require you to be skillful don't count. So you can move
Cool.
separately from all that stuff.
Yeah. I want to use a stunt that I wrote out, and if we need to alter before I use it, let me know. But what I have right now is my body is a weapon. Well, it can be. And I have, you can use creativity to make a physical attack, provided you haven't used it you've gone at least one turn not using it.
Okay.
So I can basically alternate turns if I choose to fight.
Like flavor-wise, this is a short term.
It's like for a single hit.
Yeah,
I can
for
turn
a
into
single
something.
hit transformation, and then you need a second to like reconstitute or something like that, and then you make it again. Okay, cool.
So I would like to, I like enlarged my fist as we were coming out. So he's expecting a fist, and I'm gonna like reel back, and as I come, it's just like a plate at the end of my fist, like a giant dinner plate that I'm going right for robot head.
Cool.
Nice.
So
Which
now,
means I have to jump probably.
I'm
or float
assuming
up.
you're going to defend.
Yes.
Okay, so there are multiple ways that you can defend. You can defend with your athletics. You can defend with like.
Can I just roll physique
So
to just like stand and like take the hit?
I would say that. Hold on. I'm going to look this up. I actually don't have a good answer to that question.
If I'm going,
Because physique technically defines how healthy you are. So I could see where you're coming from, but I could also see, like, if physique is involved in damage, that's you taking damage. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. Let me see if it says you can defend with physique.
It says helps with it. That's the attack I'm about to show.
I am
with
on,
physical stress.
I'm on drive, so we're just going to... Drive is not something that we have, I don't think. Oh, physique, here. Defend. Though you don't generally use physique to defend against attacks, you can use it to provide active opposition to someone else's movement, provided you're in a small enough space that you
I
can
see what you're
effectively
saying.
use
Yeah,
your
yeah,
body to block access. You might also interpose something heavy and brace it to stop somebody from getting through.
Okay.
So physique is more...
Wait, can I use a stunt to say that robot can use physique?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because like he will lock the joint that is his neck
To prevent the whiplash?
to like prevent any like movement. So there will be no cushion.
How about robot locks his joints, all of them, and can't move?
So it becomes basically like what you just said. You can impose an object in the way of
Yeah, so he becomes the
his
object,
own object.
and then that object uses its physique to defend. But I think a good like detractor from that is he can't move the next turn or something. Like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like he has to spend a turn getting out of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I dig that.
Cool.
What's robot's physique?
That's fair.
Okay.
So we make contested rolls now, me with... Instead of fight, using creativity, because I'm doing
Right.
that skill, and then
Which
he
you did
contests
already,
it.
right?
No, the only thing I rolled was my perception to start the fight.
Right, true.
So I'm gonna
Now
roll-
the two of you make a contested roll. Robot's defense, right? Or
Yep.
robot's physique versus your character's name.
Pollen.
Spore. Pollen. Yeah, that. Versus Pollen's creativity, because you're using a stunt that allows you to use creativity to attack, since you're using your body transformy creativityness to do it.
Yes. So that is a 4 total.
I got a 4.
Okay, so you tie. So you each get something out of it.
Cool.
I think a good PvP thing is each of you gets to decide what you get out of it. Something minor, not something major. Also, for my sake as a GM, are you trying to do damage to each other? Keep in mind, you can take very little damage.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say I feel in my mind, Pollen and Robot like to play fight.
Yeah.
And that's basically what this is. So
Okay.
they will like pretend it's real, but they know they're not trying to actually like hurt each other.
Okay.
And I actually think if I can, with the tie, tell me if this is not minor enough, but like when the plate hits and like appears to shatter, I want when that dissipates for my hand to be stuck in his head.
Okay.
Which is probably very uncomfortable for Robot.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. And then
I can like wiggle my fingers around.
Yeah, and then for me, I guess it would just be. That's funny because like I like the idea of just having you stuck
But I think that's sort of
Maybe I'm not
beneficial
trying to be stuck. I'm trying to just get in there.
both of you, yeah.
But now I can't get out.
Yeah, exactly. So he has you grappled, and you have him spored. I guess I don't know. Like,
You're stuck. And then Rory's like, okay, that's enough.
Robot, am I tickling your brain? Do you feel me on your organic brain, Robot?
I have no brain.
I know. Me neither, brother.
you left already. Right?
Robot
Yep.
is there.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Are you still? you're
brothers,
inside.
sisters,
So it's
separate.
literally just the two of you
Yeah.
outside punching each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Rory's like sitting there like counting out the gold.
And
Like,
as-
oh my gosh.
As you
It's
guys,
getting warm inside.
as Robot and Pollen. I'm gonna say Spore so many times. As Robot
I'm gonna
and
like
Pollen,
call you Spore, like because
Please
I
do
like
not call me Spore.
Spore.
My name is
Did I-
Pollen, or so
Oh.
I've been
I
told.
thought I wrote Spore, but I didn't. As you guys are like stuck to each other, one of the guard turns and sees you, this gaseous cloud of nothingness, with
At this
like,
point,
a pseudo like
Appendage.
a pseudo appendage.
I pushed up my
attached
sleeves and
to
taken off my hat.
the only giant robot that's publicly visible in the city, almost certainly. And the guard's just like,
What am I looking at?
With pollen still like connected to robot unhinges the neck, only the neck, so the rest of the body's still like stiff, and just like looks at the guard and just says,
Nothing to see here.
oh god.
and then like
The
locks
guard,
back.
the guard's like, is trying to decide if you're a violent threat or not, and he's just like,
Rory's like,
his training is failing him miserably. So he reaches into and pulls out his sword, and he looks super aggressive at like by the time it gets out, and then he looks at you and says, "Please go home, please.
Please
go
yes,
home.
we'll go.
I don't want to write this paperwork.
You don't have to. There's nothing
It's
going
so
on.
weird."
I would like to.
What
Can
do
I
you-
dislodge my hand from Robot at
Yeah.
this time? And I want to try to. I haven't built a stunt for like impersonating people, but I think I might just want to take what you have as ambiguous form. I would just like the ability to use it not for status related things in the future.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fine.
but right now I do want to use it for status,
Okay.
for authority.
Can you read it really quick?
So it
for
says
the
you gain a
stream?
+2 to deceive and persuasion when taking the form of an authority figure, assuming the target would generally respect the authority figure you're impersonating.
And so now, instead of that, we're just going to say, assuming the form you take is one that the target respects.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
In this case, I do actually want to make them an authority figure. I want to try to take the form of a captain of this guard group that they're
so
from.
you just use like a generic face and a generic body.
Yeah.
And then you
It's
have
one that I
like,
just
the
know.
correct insignia. Because you've seen them before.
For sure. And I try to make them big and maybe some big shoulders.
Name tag says pollen.
Yeah. yes.
Opposite
Yeah.
pollen.
But Paul.
And
Paul.
Paul N.
I love it.
So I basically want to step up from behind Robot and say, and be like, guard, you may leave. I have them under control.
So he.
And I want to roll my deceive, I suppose.
Hold on. But
Yeah.
he saw you do that, right?
I want to make it look like someone steps out from behind Robot. So like I get between, so Robot's between me and this guard.
So the guard can see you.
He sees me disappear.
And then he sees you walk behind
Yep.
Robot. And then he sees you come out looking like the guard.
Right. Well, not me.
Float behind
Right,
Yeah.
Robot.
he sees
Right.
what is actually
Yes.
you come out
Yes.
looking like the guard.
Yeah.
Roll something to make that less.
So before the
that's
deception roll, should I roll
Before the deception
roll for the shifting?
Maybe either stealth or maybe
Yeah.
persuasion.
This
I'd
is-
take either of those.
Would magic make sense whenever I just do a shape-shifting thing? Because I have magic as something I'm good at. Or is magic more for...
Magic. So you can use magic if you build a stunt. You can use it to cast spells. But I think your ability is non-magical in nature. It's
Cool.
more you as a thing. You can also
Sure.
use magic to understand magical things. To like basically detect magic with a skill check. Like read magical things and stuff like that.
What about will? Would will make sense?
Will's more like, think of the way will is in D&D, like a...
Oh, so
wisdom
it's
saving
more
throw.
like defensive, kind of? Or like...
Yeah...
Not this, though.
Not this.
It
It is very defense heavy
Yeah.
as far as what that skill can do.
Maybe let's just roll criminal, since I'm
okay
trying
with
to impersonate a guard and
Yeah.
trying to...
Do it.
Cool. So that is Minus 1. So 0, 2.
You go behind Robot, and you do your transformation, and you're like, ah. And then you step out as
As Paul N.
and you say,
Guard, you may leave. I have them under control. Yes, it is me, Captain Paul. Paul N, Captain N.
oh, I get it. You think I'm stupid.
No, I think you're too smart to be here.
Go home
Yes, you go home.
now,
Now, you will. Thank you.
or
I'm doing it. I'm
I'll stab you with the sword.
taking them home.
Shall I salute you, guard? I shall.
He goes up to you. So what is your, like,
Oh no.
when you transform, is your armor metal?
It looks like metal, I think, yeah.
But when you touch
But
it,
it's probably
what
not.
does it feel like?
I think it feels... I imagine if I do it well enough, I could actually recreate organic material.
Yeah.
So if I did a good job, it feels like metal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
But I don't know. But my total was a 2.
yeah.
For the
but-
shifting.
Okay. So he goes up to you and grabs your armor and shakes it, and it flitters like some It flutters like some cloth.
Sure.
He's just like,
That is the
Come on.
Captain Grade
Come on.
soft metal.
come on,
It's soft metal, you
go.
see.
Hey,
Colin,
go. Now he's talking to you like you're a dog. Go.
I put the disguise on. I'm
We
like,
should go
I'm
out.
sorry, it's me,
Colin?
Paulin.
Yes, you're not fooling anyone.
I apologize.
It's
Well, I
all right.
was.
Well, no.
I'm certain I was for a moment.
Are you good? Are you gonna? If I
Wait.
come back here in 10 minutes and you're still
We're gonna
here,
be gone.
I'm gonna kill you.
You come back.
Does that
you
make
come
sense?
back-
Wow.
Are we
Hey,
good?
think about it this
No
way.
trial.
You come
I'm
back-
your
you-
captain.
You come back in 10 minutes and we're still here.
Yep.
I'm probably already dead.
Cool.
Don't say
He
that,
leaves.
Rory. Rory, for you to die would be the worst tragedy I have ever been through. Please do not joke about that again.
Don't worry.
Rory, I need you.
Before I die, I'm gonna put myself probably inside of Robot. I
No.
don't know.
Until then, you can't
think-
die.
You won't.
Robot, apologize.
I will punch.
Okay.
So
and
you
then-
guys go home.
Yeah.
Fearing the wrath of the guard that hates you now.
It's back in 10 minutes.
You wake up the next day, the same time you'd normally wake up. You're not late or anything. What is, if anything, what is it that you do to prepare? What did I just say? Am I speaking English?
Yeah.
If anything, what is it that you do to prepare for your day at work? Do you take anything special with you? Do you do a specific ritual to help
Robot is
prepare
taking
yourself?
this job very seriously
Yeah.
and is like trying to recall in this I want a robot to be able to access information magically,
Okay.
like to like tap into the strings that bind everything.
Does Robot have magic?
Robot is magic.
But does he have magic the skill?
That I would say no.
Does Rory have
Rory
magic the
super
skill?
has it.
Okay. How about some condition that I can't think of that you could super at it?
Well, here's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is I mean, sort of along the lines of how you get misinformation from your god.
Yeah.
Sometimes a robot is just making stuff up, but doesn't know what it feels like to make stuff up.
Oh.
So thinks that
Okay.
It's
so
all
thinks that they are
same.
receiving information
Okay.
from like a magic.
So Rory can choose. Robot can choose to use Rory's magic skill to make lore checks.
Cool.
But both Rory and Robot believe 100% the result. So you always
Great, that's fine with me.
instead you can never have a minor failure. You always have
That's
a major
cool.
failure.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they're doing. So robot is.
And just to be clear, if you tie, there's going to be a major failure.
That's fine.
If you tie a DC,
Yep.
not another character.
I'm good with this.
Okay, cool.
Here's the thing. Robot literally just wants to know what like wait staff would dress like.
Oh, okay. You don't have to.
No, he's so they're not asking anyone,
Yeah.
and they're like, I think it's difficult for them to like remember things,
Okay.
like images. So if they've seen waitstaff before, it like escapes them
Okay.
what that information is. So they're
Okay.
like, oh, I want to access this. So they go to Rory and they're like,
Rory, would you please, let me use you for a moment?
And Rory would just be like, oh yeah, sure, like what? What do you want?
I cannot tell you. Just do magic.
and Rory's like, oh sure, yeah, fine. So then like Robot like thinks really hard like what they want, and Rory's like, okay, here we go. So this could end up making Rory forget what waitstaff actually wear and learn different knowledge.
Until 4 o'clock today.
So, magic roll. Great. That's a +6.
Great. You fully, not only do you 100% recall what every single waitstaff, specifically down to the individual, was wearing in the bar that you were just in, and every bar that you've ever been to, but you also somehow know every single bar's uniform and can decide, based on all of that information within the city limits, what it is that you want to wear. So you have 100% of the information available in the city, and it's all accurate.
So Robot puts out hand to...
By the way, that was such a wide breadth of knowledge because it's not consequential.
Yeah.
And I just like making it as big as possible.
Puts out hand and is like,
I need my money.
And so Rory's like, yeah, sure, like fine. Here you go. There you go. And hands like the portion of money to Robot. And Robot's like,
I need outfit.
And then just leaves.
So is that happening in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Pollen sleeps, actually, but I do think that Rory has explained what dreaming is like. So Pollen likes to lay in bed and do their best to dream, which is really just like imagining things. But as the night goes on, they often get restless. So I think around like 4 a.m., Pollen needs to do something and realizes that they need an outfit. And they're gonna go. Well, where do we live, Rory? What's our sort of?
I think we live in a lower
van down.
I think we live in a van down. We live in a cart down by the river. No, I think we live in it's a what are those called? Studio. We're in a studio apartment.
Like low-income studio.
Low-income studio apartment.
Got it.
Like
just like one room.
Rory has one curtained
That's what I imagined.
Yeah, Rory has one curtained off section.
Yeah.
That is her room.
Yeah, your fence is sort of messed up. Your lawn's not really great.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have a workshop separate from that?
The workshop is the rest of the apartment.
Because I be going to a cloud. I release at night.
I guess
and then there's just one closet and.
Yeah, you don't
Robot
have any
just
space. You have the option to not take up space, which is hilarious.
That's true.
Yeah. Cool. So then, as soon as I see the sun come up, basically, I'm gonna start knocking on neighbors' doors because it's appropriate for them to be awake now.
Okay. That was the most anyways.
Yeah. 9.
Yeah.
How long does it take before I get a response?
The first neighbor, your immediate next door neighbor, who you do this often.
I think so. Yeah, I've done it before.
He knows. Like he basically expects you. Most mornings.
Flurry, it's Pollen.
Hi, Pollen.
I need to borrow a tie.
What? You need a what?
A tie.
How?
What? I have a job.
You have doing what?
Oh, I really don't understand, but we're being paid 300 gold a day for it. 200 for me, because I don't exist, in a sense.
A day?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
That's insane.
So you see why I need a tie.
Why don't you buy
It's a
your
big
own
deal.
tie?
Well, I don't know where the store is, and everyone else is still asleep.
Oh, well, let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this neighbor going to take advantage of you or not?
I don't know. Maybe they have a chance to. Can I roll persuasion to get them not to?
Would you be able to tell?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to compel you to allow this neighbor to take advantage of you.
Okay.
Probably
So if
try
you
and get you back.
If
for
you
the,
accept, you listen to what the neighbor says. If you decline, you
and
can
this
tell.
is like I, Jonas, choose to have Pollen be taken advantage of.
Correct.
Pollen doesn't do that actively.
No,
Pollen doesn't know they're being taken advantage
Correct.
of. Cool.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Let's see what you
can
want to do.
add a fate point. If you end the session with more fate points than your recovery, you just use that number for the next session.
Cool.
And since this is a light encounter session, it's probably helpful for you.
So do you invoke an aspect when you offer me a fate point? Because there's one that you are sort of like... Are they tied to aspect?
I can.
Cool.
But I also don't need to.
Sure.
But I am invoking the fact that you're not.
9 years of world experience.
Exactly.
Cool.
So that you need to help finding the store. Is that...
I just need a tie. I figured you would have one since you always look so sharp and dapper.
No, I don't think I have one, but I can take you shopping.
Really?
Yeah, let's
Shipping.
go buy stuff. Do you
Okay.
have the money with you?
Yes. And I pull out the bag of 200 coins and jingle it around. Yes.
Yeah. Let me carry it for you, and we'll just...
Oh, that's okay. I'm practicing pockets.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, let's go, and I'll tell you what to buy, and we'll be good.
Sounds great.
Great.
I just need one tie.
He takes you throughout the entire shopping center
Okay.
and buys tons of stuff. And he just, like, slowly convinces you that you need more and more stuff to be
Sure.
a good...
Whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah, a good thing that wears
Yep.
a tie. So you buy these fancy shoes, you buy this really nice tie, you buy a couple ties because he's like, oh, this one looks good on you, but this one looks good on you too. And you're like, oh, and you feel so flattered.
It's the
One
most
for you?
disappointing clothing
some point-
montage.
One for you.
Yeah, it's
for
really
me.
sad.
One
At
for
one
you,
point, like
two
he
for me.
takes you to like a furniture store and he starts buying furniture, but you're so caught up in how much he's
Yeah.
and you're just like, yeah, this is fun. Like I love spending money.
Yes.
I have so much. It's probably the first time you've had anywhere
is
close to
fun
this much
spending
money at the same time.
It's fun spending money.
And so you end up with all this stuff, and you're so happy, you're on cloud 9, and you end up back at his place, and he hands you your tie. He goes, Colin, that was a really fun experience. Did you have fun?
Yes, I had the most fun of
I'm
my
so
9-year-old
happy to
life.
hear that. I'm gonna go and finish up some work I was doing before you got here, but next time you guys want to go shopping, just come over, and I will help you as much as you need.
Okay.
All of the stuff is in his apartment.
Yeah.
You completely space about all of it.
Cool.
You got your tie, though.
I got the tie.
Yeah,
Cool.
It looks smoking.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's like red with like these really cool,
Yeah, who
intricate...
cares? We're about to
say
get
You know
more
what?
money.
It's a magic tie. Very mundane magic, but
Okay.
still. It shifts colors, like very slowly and subtly.
Okay.
Like a screensaver.
Sweet.
Yeah, it has... I know some screensaver names that look like that, and I'm not going to say them because I don't want to sound like that nerd.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the tie you have. It was
Cool.
very expensive, and it's very difficult to hide the fact that it was very expensive.
Awesome. I definitely remember that it was very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. I'm not saying you're like
Right. Yeah.
oblivious to it.
Of course. Yeah. So I walk back into my apartment. I'm just like, Rory, I've bought the most expensive tie in the city.
Rory like sets down a cup of tea. Oh my god.
Will you teach me how to tie it around my neck?
I also need one of those.
Mm.
To cover up this very bad neck thing.
How much money did you go out with?
All of it. I had the whole bag of 200 gold.
Okay.
And I only had 200. Yeah, all of mine.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
all of mine.
Yeah.
So yes.
How much was it?
It must
It was
have
like
been
a
like almost
gold.
200 gold. I only have a
it
couple
was
left.
like a gold.
Oh, the tie was.
Yeah.
Okay. How much gold do you think I have left, or none?
30.
30. Cool. It wasn't much, but I bought some other things too.
I suppose.
Oh no, I left those next door. I'll have to borrow those sometime.
No, you don't. You
Oh, and I won't remember.
you remember, but you don't feel the.
Sure.
You don't connect the fact that they're not in your possession,
Yeah.
and so therefore are not yours. You're just
Sure.
like, those are supposed to be there.
Just
Okay.
satisfied with your purchase.
Sure.
Yep,
That's where
you're-
my stuff lives.
Exactly.
I bought a bunch of other stuff too. I'm keeping them next door because I know we're so tight for room.
That's a good point, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, like, I suppose. Well, I could take a look at it later and see if we can fit anything in here. But for right now, I need to get me one of those ties.
Yeah, money's not really a concern.
Yeah.
Like, you're not broke now. You have
Right.
30 gold.
30
still,
gold.
And you're going
Yeah.
to get 300 gold tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
Cool.
you weren't impacted by this in any way. The person next door is loving life right now. They have, like, the interior house of a businessman and the exterior house of somebody that's living off of, like, government income.
Yeah. So we go to get ties as
Sweet.
well.
You guys go shopping normally this time.
Nice.
What are the two of you doing?
Oh,
You start.
well, I go back to the shrine, and I think that, like, so with the god's presence, like, I can kind of feel the god's presence, like, flexing in my mind, because it could be something as simple like, oh, you saw those people today. Remember the people with whom that,
Messed
like,
up your plans.
yeah, who messed up your plans, and it's like it's the whole reason why, like, like I've chosen you to be like my vehicle for my message or whatever. Like, it's just like, oh, that's a thing. Like, That's a thing. And I spent the entire night just like staring at the wad of cash and like dissociating. And so I just like, I feel like you guys are having a lot of fun, and I wrote my character really sad.
I like the contrast.
Yeah.
honestly.
And so I feel like I'm not going to feel like it's real until I have like a place to live. So I show up early and
How
I
early?
want, well, if we get up at 9, I don't know, like, I don't have nothing to do, like 11 or
11?
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a perception roll.
Okay.
What a GM thing of you to do.
4, 3, 4, 0. These are nothing. -2.
Okay.
Oh! Love this.
It's bright out today.
I don't know how I could possibly make something bad happen here aside from
Are you sure?
just nothing.
Wait, what are you saying? What are you ruling against?
Huh?
Me getting up early or
No.
showing up early?
No. This is a perception check that you're making as you arrive at the bar.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You notice somebody at the window that looks funny. They look like they're like doing something they shouldn't.
So not haha funny.
No, not haha funny. Like,
Okay.
that's funny. Funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you sit there and you stare at them for a bit, and then they turn and notice you and dart off.
Okay.
Were they outside? Or they were in the restaurant?
They were outside.
Outside,
But
cool.
you're
I know. I'm watching.
I came here early to find out if I could live at the bar.
Okay.
So I see that,
Yes.
because that happens. Do I have to wait another turn to ask that?
There's no turns here. That.
Okay.
So.
There are turns in combat, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's words that I didn't write down because it seems sort of intuitive to me, but there's a specific vocabulary for how these kinds of situations work.
Okay.
There's, like the encounter, and I may not be using the correct vocabulary from the book, excuse me, but the encounter is like when you're in combat, right? So there's a defined set of turns. But then there's also just like I made you roll something outside of combat.
Yeah.
Which is
happenings.
what that was. Yeah. So the
Goings on.
the easiest way to judge the difference if we're using turns or if we're not using turns is
It's
whether
just-
or not you rolled initiative first.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's like
I'll pick that
the
up.
rule of thumb as far
Okay.
as that's concerned.
So that's basically the reason why I showed up early.
Okay. So you're gonna just like knock and see if like there's like a room.
Yeah. Because I feel like the only thing that would make it real is if I had a place to live.
Okay.
But I feel like if I rented somewhere, there's still like the disconnect between the money that's coming in. So I need to be like seeing Zarif every day
Okay.
to like remember that it's real and like feel safe.
Okay. So you knock on the door and you explain that to Zarif, and he looks at you funny, like he's super confused by what you want
Wait,
and
hold
why you
on.
want it.
Haha funny.
Nope.
You could laugh
Nailed
in my
it.
face and
Streams
No,
over
he
again.
doesn't think it's funny. He's just kind of like
what?
like he just doesn't he's not
Yeah.
he's not like an emotionally in touch person. So the fact that you're like laying all this on him, he's just like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But he gets the idea of what you want, which is a place to live.
Yeah.
And he says, I mean, yeah, there's like cots, they're not comfortable.
Okay.
I'll do you want me to just dock it from your like salary or what? Like,
Yeah,
how do
I
you-
guess so.
Are you cool with that? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes into the back and he grabs your contract and he makes some changes to it. There's a specific kind of quill that they use that writes over existing text and can shift text on paper. One of the more magical common items in the world.
A quill of outwhitening.
Kind of. It's more like it makes paper function like
Like a document.
Like
a document on a
a Word,
computer.
yeah.
Where
Oh,
you can
okay.
just like return and just like put a
That's
line.
cool.
Not like
the pen
super
of
common.
insert.
Like
Yeah.
a school child wouldn't have that, but like, you know,
Yeah, someone who
somebody
runs a
that
business
can afford
would.
this
Yeah.
has stuff like that.
We have to alter contracts.
Yeah.
And he writes some stuff and he hands you the contract and goes, I need you to sign the thing again. And you notice that your signature's missing.
Okay, sign it. Just because that's what I
All right. That
wanted
was
to do.
easy enough. You don't want to look at it and see what he wrote?
Oh.
Ooh. It's probably fine.
I just
knows?
don't see her doing that. At
Okay,
this
no,
point.
that's totally fine. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's all right, cool. And he puts the contract back in the chest, which had opened again to reveal a slot at the top. And he puts it in. The slot closes up,
Yeah.
and that's it. I guess I'll show you to your room because nobody else is here. He
And then I
walks
just crash
upstairs.
there.
It is not a guest-facing area. It's not the same kind of pretty
Yeah.
as the downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a place for people to chill for a bit.
Yeah.
Like normally, he sets up a cot in a room
Okay.
that was just kind of empty. Maybe he was planning on using it for storage, but now he's getting paid for it, so he's just like, cool. He sets you up a cot. He brings in like a table that is in storage, like a spare or something. He brings in some like really basic furnishings.
Okay.
And then a mattress on the ground, very thin, kind of old. You suspect he
Okay.
found it here and just kind of gave it to you.
Okay.
And that's it. Like, here's what I got.
It's an upgrade.
Great.
So
Knock yourself out. Don't literally do that. I'm probably liable for you while you just be safe. And
Yeah.
he leaves.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to do?
no, I think that's it.
Cool.
That's the only thing I think that would be of concern.
Fair enough.
I run 10 miles every morning.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Oh, me too then. Yeah, not to be
I
outdone.
run 11 miles.
What are-
12. I'm kidding, I don't
You
run.
don't run.
I try, yeah, I float.
What is your athletics?
It's not one. Oh wait, hold on. Did I write?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess I did write. That's a good
Okay, cool.
athletics. is
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
run
good.
10 miles no problem every morning. That's fine.
Yeah. Athletics is a good.
You see what you've done? You said he couldn't run.
I didn't say
And
that.
then
Now
he
he's gonna
runs away.
prove it.
Nobody.
Be like, just you watch.
Yeah, I did say that.
Just you watch.
So yeah, 10 miles.
So you run 10
Or
miles.
10 miles. Yeah.
You make a great time.
That's
that
at
you're very
like
proud of.
that's at like 7 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have till 4. Is there anything else that you want to do?
Let me see. Yoga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
Right.
some yoga. So you're basically training all day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
That's cool.
yeah, I do some weapons training and some. I got one of those tree training things that it's like.
With the arms coming off of it.
Are you bringing
Oh, like the
any
Wooden Man?
weapons
Yeah.
with you? Do you have like an everyday carry like setup? Are you going to alter that for going to work for your first time?
Absolutely, I have quite a few weapons that I have procured
Uh-huh.
over the years. Ones I didn't have to return to the
Okay.
administration.
Sure. I'm sure you do.
Turn it in.
And which ones are you taking with you to the bar at 4, if any?
Just a couple daggers, and probably like a probably have a sling.
Okay. Daggers, a sling, and some bullets.
Yeah.
And are they conspicuously hit? I just dropped 3 dice at the same
Oh no,
time.
you rolled a 20.
I can't roll it. I did roll a 2 though.
That's true.
If that's any consolation. I forgot what I was saying. Help.
Oh,
Conspicuous.
concealed
Oh
carry.
yeah, are
Concealed.
they concealed or are they just kind of like open, like out in the open?
One dagger is out in the open.
Okay.
It's the smaller of the two,
Okay. And then there's another one that's hidden.
and there's another one that's hidden. And then
Okay.
the sling is just like it's sort of like I have those flats on my shirt so that when I roll up my sleeve, then I can like
So you just
tie
kind of like
something.
made it part of your
So
outfit.
it's
sort
part
of.
of my outfit. Yeah.
Gotcha. Roll a criminal roll.
Criminal.
Make a criminal roll. That encompasses stealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
which is what you're trying to do with the dagger.
Let's see. Was I trying to? Did I have?
See if he's
Would-
being hit by a smooth criminal. Dum-ba-dum-dum-dum-bum.
Copyright right.
Copyright right. Copyright right. Wrong.
Stop.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Kareem,
Yes.
would using physique for shapeshifting make sense for me specifically?
If you prefer, I don't think there's one thing.
Sure. It depends on what I'm doing with it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Magic makes sense unless your physique's high.
I'm putting criminal on fair.
It's not yet.
Okay.
Creative, right?
Creativity is my highest, but
So
might depend on what I'm doing with it.
Yeah.
I've got
The other one definitely felt like criminal.
2 plus 1.
Impersonating an
A
officer.
0.
That's a crime.
-1. So I got
think.
+1, +2. That's +3. That's 3.
Cool. You're fairly confident that that dagger, unless somebody is searching you very closely, isn't going to be found. Like a cursory inspection of you isn't going to yield any results there.
Oh, I have X-ray vision as well. I forgot to mention. It's always on.
Okay, cool.
I have
you
X-ray
can't see
vision.
solid objects anymore. You can
Oh, okay. I take it back. Don't do that to me.
Okay, great. Sorry. I just thought you wanted
It was always a joke.
I thought you were trying to make your life harder.
No, I would never
Did
do
you
that.
hear that robot has X-ray vision?
I did it, and I really wish I had it. Cool. So the 4 of you prepped, and
5.
the 5 of you prepped and did everything you wanted to do, and then you head down to the bar. Get there around 4, maybe a little bit before.
I think Paulin would make sure we get there early at 3:59.
Okay, great. 3:59 it is. Perfect. That is 1 minute sooner than you're supposed to be there.
To make a good impression.
As you open the door, and again, the 4 of you arrive very coincidentally.
5.
At the
Well,
5
the
of you
4 because
arrive.
she's already here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
You're
the 4?
so good at that.
It actually is 4 right now because she
is
lives
4.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just those 4.
That's true.
I think I just like am the one
Actually,
that opens.
It's not true. You had to go outside. Why did you have to go outside?
Oh, I thought that I might see that person who was looking for me.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that I was like, maybe if I go back and they're still there, either that means it's real, or it means that it's not.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to.
I dig it. So you go outside and you're kind of like looking at the window, and you maybe walk a few paces. And as you're walking a few paces, you run into Hunter.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, are you coming? Is it already? You're not
Is it
looking at
time?
your wrist because there's no, but you know what I mean?
actually-
Like, oh, is it almost time? Sorry. And then you kind of like focus back in.
Yeah.
You turn around and start walking with
my
Hunter.
wrist.
And
Yeah, let's
as
go.
you and Hunter reach the door, you see these two also reaching the door.
Yeah.
Oh, you
3.
did come back again.
You see these 3.
3 reaching the door.
Should I just bring a cardboard cutout
That would
of the Iron
legit
Giant?
would be genuinely helpful if you just rolled that chair to like right. We'll deal with it next
There we go.
time.
Yeah.
And so you see us, and we all look dapper AF.
Specifically, so my main like garb is black trench coat, black fedora, white collarless shirt, and I'm just wearing that with a tie now.
Nice.
So it's just like a collarless buttons but no collar shirt, and it's just a tie kind of hanging off of it. You can see the whole
That's
thing
adorable.
around it. And then there's also the amulet, I
The
guess,
amulet,
Yeah.
yeah.
which is
Oh, so the amulet, you don't have to hide it, but
Okay.
they want you to make like a cursory effort to just kind of like tuck it away.
sure.
So you
Yeah.
and just considering the fact that you're not allowed to discuss it, you've all probably developed over the past
Yeah.
year a
Ways.
second nature, just tuck it away sort
Can
of.
I keep it
mentality.
like at the core of me? Would that be
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
possible?
I
Like
don't see why not.
Floating within
I
me?
don't see why not.
As long as I'm holding a solid shape at least.
Yeah.
When I release, it would fall. But
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
If guests saw it, would they know what it was? And because
As-
you wouldn't want us to. We're like, you have people on parole on your
No,
staff.
no. It's not like that. They'll
Okay.
just think like, oh, that's a cool medallion.
They must be like
unless-
best friends club.
So the-
They're
the
all
way-
wearing the same thing.
Who's magic?
Rory.
Rory's magic.
I have
What's
magic
your
as
magic?
well.
Yeah.
My magic is +4. It's great.
Can you roll a magic
Yeah.
thing?
I'm also good at magic. Should I roll?
I'm just gonna assume at some point you tried to figure out how the amulet works.
Sure.
Way before this.
Yeah, tinkered with it for sure.
I'm gonna do
Okay.
this because I
That's
Decent magic.
6.
6?
6.
Great.
Oh boy.
that is 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I decided against magic.
Okay. And you don't have any magic either.
No.
Okay. So you, with the 3,
Mm-hmm.
understand that the amulet. You understand everything they told you about the amulet, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact everybody knows that they don't really have a method of tracking the use of magic, or at
Mm-hmm.
least everybody that has magic. So the two of you. You also understand the distance that you have to be away from it in order for it to sound an alarm is 50 feet.
Okay.
But if it breaks line of sight, it's reduced to 10 feet. So if it has line of sight to you, you can go 50 feet away. If
Gotcha.
it doesn't have line of sight to you, it's 10.
Cool.
And it can still detect you up to 50 feet.
I just can't. Okay. Cool.
Let me rephrase that. 50 feet is the detection limit.
Cool.
So if you leave the limit, that's what normally is triggering the
Gotcha.
the 50-foot like
Yeah.
alarm, quote unquote. You, with your 6,
Yeah.
recognize that this amulet is made by the I haven't decided the political structure. We'll say the Magister's Archmage. This individual is highly skilled, like not. You have what's your magic again?
My magic is +4.
Okay,
Great.
You've probably read about him a lot. You've probably read things that he's written a lot. You've probably used like pre-made kits or something
Based some of my magic
that
on
he has
his
like
teachings and
yeah
stuff.
exactly
Developed.
So you know that this person, based on your own personal experience, is extraordinarily intelligent and extraordinarily
Capable.
Yeah, capable of just creating a thing that is not
To be
be messed with.
I almost said
you
my
don't
You
word.
almost said your F.
Yeah.
I'm still sitting on mine.
You don't know what's going to happen if you go outside the range, aside from there's definitely someone somewhere that gets notified, but any number of things could happen concurrently, and you'd be like, yeah, probably. I buy that.
Yeah.
Does that
No
make
one would
sense?
probably know more than you.
Like, if you try to
Actual magic
disenchant
user.
it, you'll probably die.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't surprise you the least.
Yeah. Cool.
And we're talking you from your perspective as somebody who is exponentially more powerful than the average person.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. That was the amulet. I think you were the one who asked about the amulet, right?
Oh yeah, just if guests would notice and know what that was.
Definitely not.
Cool.
It's just kind of a pretty amulet. Did you guys walk in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you all walked into the bar, and you see tons of staff. Not like it's crowded. Tons and tons of staff walking around, setting up chairs, cleaning tables. They look. I mean, you guys know how they look already. But for the two of you, they look not like clean, not like super like BR guest.
Like spiffy.
Yeah, they don't look spiffy. It's not like putting on the Ritz sort of operation. Like they do seem a little bit clumsy at times, but for the most part, they seem like they know what they're doing. They're in all black. It's just very plain, very simple. They don't have name tags or anything. It's just like these people in all black, very plain clothing walking around doing work. There's a bartender that looks a little different. He has like a beige apron on over his black stuff. And then there are a couple of individuals walking around with a little bit fancier attire, like a black coat with a white shirt. And they seem like they're giving orders to people. Not orders, but like direction to people. And they are all working. Nobody acknowledges you entering the room.
When we walk in, I'd like to be holding an actual like human form, so I look like a regular person, wearing the same clothes, but I want to have like a human face with what looks like skin.
Okay.
And I was thinking about like I want to basically have that be my default state until I tell you otherwise.
Yeah, and that's what I was assuming.
Yesterday when
Yeah, that's what I was assuming.
Yeah. I just like what I mean is like because normally I look like the green cloud.
Yeah.
This I would be indistinguishable from a person.
What I was trying to think of how to phrase is, I assume that when you're in public.
That not usually because a lot of people in this town know me, but
Yes.
also it takes
They know
effort
of
for
you.
me to do that. Know of me.
you said a lot of people know.
I mean, would have heard of the
good-
green cloud that walks around.
Your trial's pretty high profile.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
they,
right.
at the very
That's what you're
least,
saying.
like, know there is a weird thing, and it is undergoing trial, and that's confusing. Like
Yeah.
that's the baseline knowledge that
And it's
everybody
associated
has.
with magic, so people
And
are
then-
like, ooh,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a little more special.
Yeah, it's a little bit. But
For
like
sure.
nobody understands it fully. Nobody's like, oh, this is Spore, the thing that came from the graveyard, and
Yeah.
nobody knows why. Everyone's just like, magic thing is puffy. Like that's the like.
But I want to like just to give like a limit to so I'm not always able to just like be a person.
Sure.
If I take a -1 to things that require physical interaction while I'm holding another shape, does that make sense? So,
While
but
you're
I basically
holding another shape. Define that.
I'm holding because I'm comfortable in my shaped like a person, but clearly not.
Yeah.
But less comfortable in that form than I am as just a cloud. This is like I'm constantly holding this shape,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it feels like I'm putting some of my physical energy into
I
holding
see what
it.
you're saying. Yeah.
So just
that-
a -1 when I'm doing things that involve interacting physically.
Sure. Put that under extras because I don't
Cool.
think that's a stunt. I think that's just
Sweet.
a part of you.
Cool. But yeah, so yesterday I was I'm a humanoid form. Now I'm in a human form.
That's
So,
not
yeah.
going to count against any of the things on your like stat breakdown. Like
Cool.
That's not going to take away from your stunts or anything. Like it's literally just a downside.
Cool.
So if you want to have that, I'm super okay with it, and just
Cool.
write it in extras and
Awesome.
keep it in mind.
But yes, I'm holding a human form right now, so as not to be exposed as what I am.
Sweet.
And I think maybe I'll probably walk up to one of the people walking around, just whoever is closest to me, and say, "Hello."
This is an important question that I didn't ask you. Is your human form an adult?
This is. I can take a number of human forms. My main
Is
one
your
is
default one an adult?
This is an elderly man. Is who it appears to be.
Okay, but the one that you use.
The one I use normally doesn't look like it. It's literally like a green cloud of pollen in the shape of a human.
Yeah,
Like,
but is it like a tall person?
oh
or a
sure.
short person?
Yeah, I was saying like 5'10". Yeah.
5'10" years old.
Five foot 10.
Oh, 5 foot.
5'10", and yeah, vaguely
5 to
adult.
10 year old,
Years old.
5 to 10 year old
Gap
old
there.
man.
Okay, I get it.
But yeah, but this person I'm pretending to be now
size.
is yes,
Okay,
adult size.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So you walk up to one of the
workers.
random wait staff,
Yeah.
not like a in charge one or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, I am to be, I'm helping here. I'm the new hire, being paid a lot.
Cool.
Perhaps you've heard of me.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Keep wiping down the table.
do you know what I'm supposed to do?
No, I'm sorry. I know what I'm supposed to do.
What are you supposed to do?
Where is Zarif?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's way above my pay grade.
Zarif is above your pay grade.
Why would he talk to me directly when there are people to tell me what to do that are right there that are watching me talk to you instead of working? And then they go back to working.
I understand. And I want to start doing whatever they're doing.
Without a bag, just with your hand.
Maybe I'll create one in a second, but like
It's
I
just
want
part of
to.
you.
I have a stunt that I was thinking about doing that I want to run by you called character study. Because I don't have a lot of world experience,
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of base some things on like mimicking people and watching them do things and learning from them. So what I have is when you attempt something you've actively studied or are actively studying someone doing, you can use their skill bonus to do that thing.
Ooh.
And for NPCs, you'd have to think like, what would their bonus be?
Yeah.
And I also I put as a possibility like only if it's something I'm not like trained in or that I don't have a point in. I don't know if you want to put that extra thing on it.
How
but-
about, I think, oh, wait, that might be good. Okay, the caveat I was thinking is I give you 3 numbers.
Okay.
And one of them is the skill point, like the skill value for that skill for that NPC. And you get to decide whether or not you want to do it, but you don't know which number is correct.
And
Then based on your roll, it gets more and more accurate. So if you succeed, or if you tie, you get 3 numbers. If you succeed, you get 2 numbers. If you succeed with style, you get 1 number. You just know what the skill is, and you can decide whether you want
and I can choose to
use it or
take
not.
theirs or mine.
Right.
And the role that defines that is like my role, like an insight role as I'm learning from them doing. Sort of. To see how see how many
that
numbers I
works.
get. Would that make sense?
Sure.
So like the role to see how I can learn and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
use that to decide if I want to do it like them
So
or
it
like I
takes
would
2
do
actions. Now, keep in mind that means it's going to take 2 turns.
If I do it in
if
combat,
you do it in
yeah.
combat,
Um,
which I think is good because using it for
'Cause this-
combat's probably going to be.
If I see
rough.
someone who's a really good fighter when
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a great skill.
I like that.
Yeah.
a bunch.
Sounds awesome.
Then-
Stunt.
Stunt.
Stunt. Cool. Then I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay.
They're wiping down tables, so I'm gonna try to learn how to wipe down tables like a human does.
Okay.
So I'll roll my insight to narrow it down.
Yep.
Oh yeesh. Okay, so that is a -1. We said insight, right? I'll make that average. So 0.
0.
So the 3 numbers.
Oh, what happens when you fail?
You just can't do it.
Breaks the table.
They get one of your skills.
Oh no, I get it. The skills that pollen. What you're trying to wipe down a table?
Which would probably be.
Well, okay. To be fair, it's not a thing that you'd need to use a skill for in the first place.
Yeah.
But
this
I'm going to
is-
keep playing this out because I want to make sure that we're both on the same page for how this works.
For sure.
So, 9, 14, and 100. Those are your 3 options for the value for the skill.
Okay. And effectively, like doors with an actual modifier number behind them, like
Yeah, and you get to decide.
14.
No. You don't.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Those are the 3 possibilities.
Okay.
So either you're going to roll and add 14, you're going
Oh.
to roll and add whatever the second number I said was, or you're going
Okay.
to roll and add 100.
First was 9, then
It was
14.
9, 14,
9,
and
14,
100?
and 100. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
they're wildly inaccurate numbers because you
Okay.
failed the roll.
Sure.
None of them are correct.
Okay.
And that's the problem here is you're getting inaccurate information.
Cool.
Nobody's that good at anything in this game.
Sure.
The highest value is 6.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I, through studying, I think I can do an amazing job at this,
Yes.
which isn't possible to do an amazing job wiping down a table.
Well, not that amazing.
Not that
it's
amazing, yeah.
possible to do that amazing a job at anything.
Then I think I'm going to, what I've interpreted is it's about the repetition of the motion. The cloth has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take my hand, put it on the table
Sweet.
next to them, and just start rubbing the table really vigorously.
They're wiping and they don't really notice what's happening, and then you start to get more and more kind of like aggressive about it, and they look over and they're like, "What?"
Okay.
They raise their hand and are just trying to flag down one of the people in charge.
Like, no, put it on the table. On the table.
Anyway, while he's
What's going on over there?
While they're
I'm learning to wipe.
Oh, they're at this point, after she's been like trying to wave down the people in charge for a couple seconds, the two of them that you've seen walking around kind of go to each other and start talking, and they're kind of mumbling off in the distance.
Cool.
I wanted to go to Zarif's office while this was happening.
Okay. While they start talking, you walk off into
Yeah.
Zarif's office.
Is
the door's
door open?
closed.
The door's closed. All right.
I kick it down.
Can I? It's closed, but is it locked?
You haven't
Can
tried
I
to
just
open it.
Can I just try to open it?
It opens.
It opens.
Yeah.
I go inside. Is Zarif in there?
You go. Zarif is not in there. You notice that.
Like
Well, no, this is
okay.
fine. It's effectively the way you left it, but the chest with the contracts is gone. The one that
Okay.
you saw him put the contracts
All right.
Oh.
Where is it, Cream?
Who's Cream? I don't-
I guess I'll.
Sorry, Croog.
I'm gonna
I don't
close.
know who
I'm
Croog
gonna
is.
leave the office. He's not in
Character
there. There's no. I can't go. I was like, who do I talk to about
Who are you talking to right now?
myself?
Oh,
About.
okay.
No, who do I talk to about what I'm supposed to be doing here? What's my job?
And as you're
I don't know
saying
what I'm
that-
doing.
As you're saying that, the two people in charge have finished their conversation and they're walking over to the four of you as a whole, and they say, "You're finally here. Thank you for joining us." It's like 2 minutes after you were supposed to get there. Can you please just kind of make yourself less in the way? That would be great.
How
You're
how
just-
seriously do you mean that?
A lot, very seriously. Just like against a wall, or like just not behind the bar, not in the dining area, not in the drinking area in the back, not upstairs unless you live here. You can go up there. That's fine. And not in Zarif's office. Just
You
that
want
would be
just
great.
out of the way?
Yep,
I'll come up
please.
behind him. I'm like outside.
Our shift
Outside's
starts
fine.
now.
Yeah,
I'll
stand by the
stand
door.
outside.
That'd
yeah,
be cool.
I'm gonna stand outside by
You
the
know?
door.
Thanks.
But our shift starts now, though.
Yep. It's just gotta.
Just get lost.
And we've been given our
No,
instructions.
you
We
have
are to make
stay
ourselves
here, but
dispersed.
not in the way. Just stay here, but not in
Okay.
anyone's way.
Or
You can go outside. You can go upstairs.
I'm doing that.
Those are actually your only two options, really.
Rory, I'm going to go turn into a cloud in the bathroom. If anybody needs me, you will know where to find me.
Oh, all right.
As they're
That's
walking
fine.
away, you
Yeah.
hear them like whispering to each other. Did that thing just say it was gonna turn into a clown? What the fuck?
There's your second half.
Nope, I said fuck. Play back. Roll the clip.
Yeah, we'll be eating that later.
Yeah, you made the F
I love
sound.
thought. Yeah, so Rory's gonna turn to where Robot would be to make like a snide remark about staying out of the way, and Robot will not be there. And then Rory will look around, and Robot is pressed up against a wall, just like face, and they're just like standing there. And Rory walks over. He's like, we have to get out of the way. And Robot is like,
They said to get up against the wall. That was one of the things I could do. I am trying to be small.
all right, well, you're not, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I suppose you're in less of a way. We're really out of the way. If you,
I will not fall for your tricks. I am here to do a job. That is why I am wearing this fancy tie.
All of you have got a fancy tie.
Yeah, would we have just gotten three for
Oh,
the
yeah.
three of us? Yeah.
absolutely.
Cool.
Well, you're wearing that fancy tie because I got it for you. So, do some mischief with me, please.
No.
Oh, come on, please.
I will not.
As you're having this conversation, did you stay inside and you're just listening to them, like up against the wall? Like,
Oh no,
what are the two of you doing?
I went upstairs.
Okay, you're upstairs in your room.
Yeah.
So I go into the bathroom.
Yeah.
What does it look like in there? Is it one like a single stall, multi-stalls?
No, it's pretty standard, like bar bathroom. There's like maybe 2 stalls and
Cool.
a urinal and a sink, effectively.
Is there
But like the medieval equivalent of those things? I don't know what that is.
Sure.
Bucket, a trench,
I'll
and
just-
another bucket.
There's no plumbing, so I don't know. Like, let's just say,
Hole.
So yeah, 2 holes and a hole that you.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm going to go if I can find this like a corner.
Sure.
And I'm gonna. So the clothes I'm wearing right now are actually real.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna disrobe them.
Okay.
And then I'll release first into my like humanoid cloud form.
Yeah.
And then I will release into just vapor cloud and float up to the top of the ceiling. So there's just like a pile of clothes with the amulet on top that fell out of me as I turned into a cloud. I'm just floating up above, just kind of enjoying being out of the way.
That is beautiful.
Filling the volume of the container that you're in, or float.
Yeah. However
Rising
much
to
of
the
it.
top.
So you fill up the bathroom to such an extent that you're fairly unnoticeable.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody was looking for you, they'd find you. They'd notice that you were like, oh hey. But like a civilian just trying to pee, which happens. A civilian comes into the room and
Cool.
uses the bathroom, and you have to sit there and watch it happen. And
Yep.
then they leave.
For sure.
You're just like,
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, I think it's actually more of like a.
All of
Oh,
us
that's how that's
fascinated.
done. Okay, I
it's
get
a
it.
learning
I get
moment
it.
for you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'll try to recreate it later.
For
Yep.
mimicking.
Yeah, well, I think you
And-
can roll for it. So.
Cool. What if I try to change from this form? I want it to be something that I roll for. That's the other thing I wanted to do. So I'm not just like at will cloud person. If I try to go back, I want it to be hard for me, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because I'm in my true form now. So
How long are you going to stay there?
until I'm needed. This has been my instruction: was to stay out of the way.
Okay.
So I'm out of the way.
Fair enough.
Rory's gonna track down one of the 2 people that were talking, who the people we saw around,
Uh-huh.
and is just gonna grab him. Oh, real quick. Just one
Yes.
question.
What do you want?
Okay, so what I'm wondering is where is Zarif?
It's his restaurant. He pays our wages. He doesn't have to be here.
It doesn't have to, but we were specifically hired by Zarif.
So was I.
What?
So was I. So
yeah,
was
but
everybody
just
here.
Just today, though. So I thought
You were hired yesterday.
Well, okay, sure, but this is my first shift.
Okay, yep, that's true.
So
That's not
what I'm
you
wondering
said.
is like if the person who got semantics, but that's all right.
They don't like you.
Sensing
you
some tension.
What I'm wondering is if maybe to make employees more comfortable if they have something familiar, or here's a wild idea.
They're looking at you and going, but every once in a while they're just darting around at other things with their eyes.
Perhaps if we knew what we were doing at all.
Yeah, so that's okay. All right. Are you going to continually talk to me until I give you a task?
I'm going to bug you until you tell me what to do. That's what's going to happen.
Okay. How about this? You go outside with your big giant robot, which I'm assuming is next to you.
No, still pressed up against the wall.
Oh, still pressed up against the wall.
So you say with your big giant
golem.
robot.
Golem. Yeah, with your big giant robot. I don't think they know the name of the robot.
Yeah.
I don't think they know robot is the.
Well, it is written.
So they would
many
just
times
say
on the
golem.
body.
The point I'm trying to make is they would call it your golem because that's the word.
Yeah.
So they'd say, why don't you take your golem, go outside, and just make sure people don't come in until we're ready to open. Is that okay? Is that good? You're going to be like the bouncer until the bouncer gets here.
Okay, so
Wait, there's a
There's a bouncer?
Yeah.
All right.
You can't let underage people into a bar. This is why I didn't give you anything to do. Ouch. And they're walking away.
Wait, but what's underage?
Still walking away.
Do they know we're being paid $300
You know
for
it's
this?
18. You can assume that drinking laws are the same as they are in the real world.
So 18, and then 18 to be in a bar, 21 to drink? Or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that right? I don't
It
even
depends
know.
on the bar. I think sometimes
Yeah.
you have to. I don't
Let's
know.
just say it's 21 to
21?
get in and drink.
Cool.
And so they don't know I'm 19.
No.
As soon as they say,
Well,
like...
hold on. That person may or may not. Zarif definitely does.
Oh, okay. But as soon as I hear that, like, it's like, they don't let underage people in, then I'm just like... yeah. No,
You're like, I've
I
accomplished something.
I can do that.
I mean, I'm definitely underage. I'm only 9, so.
I feel like I'm 23 actually, because it was about 13 when the trance happened. So I feel like I've been dealing with it for a while.
I take that.
But yeah.
Cool.
As the person is walking away from you, you see them turn into a room that is...
They turn into a room?
They transform into a room.
That's their job.
Did you actually go outside?
Rory was going off to grab Robot and take Robot outside.
Okay, cool.
To be bouncers.
They turn into your room. They turn into her room. They walk to your room. How about that, you jerk? They walk to your room and they say, "Can you get out? We need you to do something for us, please.
Okay.
Just really quick." Come on.
Yes.
You're like right next to them, and they're like, "Hurry up!"
Yes.
You
Okay.
can tell they're being a dick on purpose.
Yeah.
They go down to Zarif's office. They open one of his drawers and they pull out a sack of gold. And they say, "Look, we have a delivery coming soon. We need you to take the money. We need you to give it to the delivery person. We need you to take the delivery. We need you to bring it here. To the back, though. Not the front door. That's where the guests come in. The stuff goes to the back door. It's on the opposite side of the building.
Okay.
You cannot miss it if you have a brain.
Okay.
Does that work?"
Yes.
Okay, here you go. It's a lot of money. Don't drop it.
It's
Don't
like
lose it.
hella gold.
Don't do... it's probably a little
Just count it really quick.
less than you were paid.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe
Still.
half. It's
Okay.
probably like 150 gold.
150 gold.
Maybe it's
Okay.
half as heavy.
Which is still like a nutty
But-ish.
amount.
It is, yeah, not a small amount of money.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the delivery is.
Okay.
And you just like, boop.
Okay.
Is that it? Are we good?
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
going to lose it?
I can manage
You're
this.
going to take the delivery to the back and then bring it in through the back.
Take the delivery through the back.
Not the front.
Not the front. That's where
Okay.
the guests come in.
Yep. Correct.
Okay.
The way you came in before was what? The back or front?
It was the front. The
Correct.
guests.
Great. Cool. We're on the same page. Please don't mess up. Thank you very much. And they run off.
Oh, you gotta thank you.
Okay.
I don't hate you so much.
As you're outside,
What? Really? I walk around to the back.
Wait, stop.
What?
Stop.
What?
Hold on. I think we should make amends. I've taken some time to think about it, and I can.
the GM would like to roll insight.
Figure
Figure out if you're telling the truth.
Well,
or not.
I think that what you and your friend were doing was probably quite noble, and it had nothing to do with what we were doing. We just got in each other's ways, and I want to apologize for treating you unfairly.
Right before you say the word apologize. Right before you say the word apologize. Right before you
say
magically amplified voice booms through the area and says, "All hail the great Lord Felix!" And everybody inside, if you're inside in any of the rooms, you hear everybody snap to attention. If you're outside, you might hear people snap to attention in other buildings.
This is something I would know, and I would snap to attention.
Sure, if you'd like to. And this is a ritual that you would all understand.
Cool.
It's not
Okay.
compulsory, but you aren't treated as well by the guards if you don't follow their rituals. Does that make sense? Like, they're more likely to pull you out of a crowd and make you do something.
Yeah.
Probably either like
Give you trouble.
like if you're, if you have a drink on you, or you're standing in the bar and they call people to attention and you don't snap to attention, they look at you, notice you, assess whether or not they can get you in trouble, and if they can for any reason get you in trouble, they do.
Okay.
So if you're 100% clean, they don't do anything to you but give you dirty looks.
Gotcha.
If you're not 100% clean, you're going to go for something. Does that make sense?
I am definitely even though I don't work for the government anymore, for the administration anymore or whatever.
You're gonna snap to.
I would because I still respect the rituals.
Yeah.
Of
It's kind of like ingrained in you.
yeah.
The training is like second nature.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Similarly, I want to try to snap into my humanoid form. I won't be wearing clothes, so it's just I know, yeah, I'm like a cloud, but I hear that and I'm like, I know what it means. So it's more like a chance to practice it for myself. So I want to roll to try to collect myself into the ready position.
Do it.
Would physique for this one make sense since it's like gathering my body basically?
I like that.
So that is sweet. 3 + 2 is 5.
Yeah.
And I want this to be difficult to not be a cloud anymore.
Yeah. So I think it's reasonable that 5 would be like a great success.
Let's make it 4 actually. I'm gonna make physique my average instead of fair. That feels better to me.
Yeah, you still
So
did
4.
great.
Cool.
Like if you look at the success table, you're like halfway up it. So I think that's
sweet.
totally fine. That's totally good.
Cool.
For me,
actually,
I just want to be clear. It's not that it's like ingrained as like a reflex. It's that I have not disavowed this government. It's still something I respect
Of
and
course.
I believe in.
Sure.
I just don't work for it.
Yeah, you want it. The
Anymore.
only reason that you're not there is because they won't let you.
When the
Yeah.
chips are down, they'll come crawling
Exactly.
back.
Yeah, you're like, they're going through a phase, but
Yeah.
when they're done, they'll love me again.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're the only one that's outside. You and Robot.
No, we're outside talking to.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
The
they're
three of you
outside.
are outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I snapped
I was
too.
about to
And
go
would Ro-
outside, I
Yes.
guess.
And would Rory and Robot know who Felix is?
You know of Felix. You know
No.
Felix by station,
Felix by station.
like.
Because you said Lord, right?
Yeah.
Like royalty or
Lord
something.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
But you don't know him. You don't know any. You don't know much about him.
Yeah, Rory will after Hunter does like standard attention thing, then the snapping. Rory will be like, all right, and we'll do like a very like haphazardly version of it. Just like, it's less of a snap and more of a boing.
As you boing, don't know how to phrase that. As you boing, Felix steps out of nothingness. Just kind of the sidewalk, and then Felix walks
And
out
Robot
of nothingness
goes,
in the sidewalk.
ID.
Really?
ID.
For reals?
Please.
For reals?
Wait, is Felix coming to the bar or just passing by?
He's coming to the bar very
Okay.
clearly.
ID, please.
Take a fate point.
Okay.
You want my ID?
I have to.
Oh. Can you show him my ID, please? The guard takes his sword. I'm sorry, it wasn't just Felix that walked out. It was Felix.
I understand.
In Entourage. I
Well,
wanna be
and
clear.
Robot looks at all of them.
Yeah.
ID.
This is what it started to do when you're laughing.
The guard takes his sword and he cuts Robot's hand off. Very clean cut. Flawless. And to the point where you think that the guard understood how Felix is constructed.
Or Robot.
How?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I say? How
Felix.
That's all
I
right.
would hope so.
He cuts Felix's hand off. No, doesn't do that.
show,
How are they gonna
show
give
them
that ID?
show them my ID.
It's in your forearm.
Abort mission. Rory thinks that the guard knows how Felix was constructed. That's how precise it was. Right up against
Robot.
the brace. Didn't get caught on any of the fasteners. It's astonishing how accurate that cut was. And the sword must be sharp because it cut through the whole thing with one swipe. And it didn't rip or tear. It's cut clean, the whole thing. It's astonishing. But that's all secondary to whatever emotional stuff that your character is going through. And
Robot looks at
Robot can't feel pain.
the missing
right?
arm. Yeah, it doesn't feel pain.
Okay.
It just looks at it.
ID.
This time they ignore it because they think it's broken. And
Rory just like pulls the arm.
is that yours? This is a different card.
Yes.
Fix it. Get it out of here first.
Wouldn't have to fix it. Yeah, all right.
Is the bar open yet? Do you work here? What are you?
I'm a temporary bouncer.
Temporary. Are you sure you want to come here? He's speaking to Felix.
Wait. recalling the contract that I read and all of the things, of course you want to stay here, and you can come inside because we're going to do everything we can to make sure that you are properly taken care of.
Then Felix goes, that is what I expected. Thank you.
You are over 21, right?
He walks through the door. And that is where we're going to leave it this time.
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Hell yeah.
I very much enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I did because I had a fucking
That was super
blast.
fun.
Jeez, 3 times. Okay. I had an absolutely spiffy good time. If you are new here, we are QueueTimes. We have a lot of stuff on the internet. It is really cool. We have QueueTimes.com that you can go check out. We have our YouTube, QueueTimes Main. We have our Discord. There's a link somewhere. Oh, type in ! Discord in chat. You get a link to Discord. It'll be cool. Thank
In the Twitch
you.
chat, you type !Discard, and it
It's
links you to Discord. Discard?
Yeah,
Discord.
Yeah, you discard the Discord. It deletes
That's
our
cool. I
Discord. if you
didn't.
do that. No.
Words?
Really quick, yeah, we're gonna go down the line, and everybody's gonna tell you where you can find. Everybody is going to tell you where you can find them online and like what they do and stuff, because everybody here has like other stuff that they work on, and so we're gonna talk about that really quick. Why don't you go ahead?
So yeah, I am Winter. You can find me at Shard Winters on Twitter, and I am not going to tell anyone my Instagram.
Boom! Not gonna tell
Why? What you got on it?
you. Nudes.
Yes, lots of nudes.
Oh, I'm Ultra Greatsword. You can follow me on the handle there, which has an 8 in it, I'm pretty sure.
It does.
That's
Yeah.
Twitter, but
Yeah.
I don't really like Twitter. So just follow me on Twitch.
That's fine.
Ultra _ Greatsword.
Oh.
Is there an
I didn't
eight?
realize
Is there an
that
8
one?
in that?
No.
No, that one's spelled
it's
out.
Spelled out
Ultra
normally.
word.
Ultra
__ Greatsword.
The
Cool.
8 is because of the character limit for your handle on Twitter.
Oh.
Other reasons
I will
dislike it.
I will say I love that your name has a +4 for sword. Because it's a great sword.
Hey, why don't you talk now?
I have been Jonas. You can find me on Twitter at Jonas Newhouse. I also hate Twitter, but I still use it a lot, so you can chat with me on there.
Great, there's a theme here.
And I'm William, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KWilliamWhite. There's nothing on Instagram. And also, I am the GM for Hijinks and Handlebars, an actual play Kids on Bikes tabletop live stream with QueueTimes. And if you would like to see that, that happens every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m.
On
PST.
this channel.
PST.
On this channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on this channel. And we have a Twitter and Instagram for that. That's just at @handlestream.
Yeah.
Boom. The end. Check that out. It's
We're
great.
starting sort of a new arc this coming Tuesday,
we
so
sort of wrapped up the beginning.
a good jumping on point.
Yeah,
dig it.
we're only set like 6 episodes in, and then 7 if you count the 0 session. So it's like it's not like a critical role amount of content. So
Yeah,
if you want
we're
to like
in there.
hop in,
There are
Like-
long episodes though. It's not. You're not gonna blow through it. You know.
No.
Yeah.
Also,
Anyway,
there's
yeah.
a list of VODs on our YouTube channel if you want to check that out. There's just like a playlist called Hijinks and Handlebars if you want to get caught up
Get caught up.
before the next stream on Tuesday. Yeah, thank you for coming by. Thank you to Indigo for doing the stuff that I normally do
Yay.
because I'm sitting in the place that he normally sits
Yeah.
for this stream.
And it's all worked wonderfully. I've loved it.
I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. Oh yeah, if you want to tell us anything about this or about the way this session went, just feel free to like tweet me at CroogQT, it's right below, or like tweet QueueTimes. I can see all that stuff too. Like however you want to get a hold of me, I just love feedback. So if you have any for me, give it, baby. And that having been said, we're gonna sign off for the time being. We'll see you next week. Mwah.
Bye. Have a lovely fate.